Well, hello. We're back at it again. More unhype. The unhype is now becoming my wheel of time deal, I guess. Man, some stuff has happened. I guess. I guess I touched a nerve, and we have 10 reasons to be excited why season 2 is going to be better than season 1. I guess if there's going to be 10 more, why season 3 is going to be better than season 2. I don't know. I can barely control myself. No. Oh my god. I don't know about that. I'm already excited. How about you guys? Noporio, what's up? You excited?
I can't
You
wait.
excited?
I can't wait to see the flicker next season. I can't wait to see the Pad and Fane stealing the horn of the lair and the
Stealing Calendar.
Oh wait,
right?
he already yeah. Our calendar is going to be found underneath Falme. That I know that's going to happen.
Under the
I can't. I also can't wait to see the sky battle between a certain Ishamael and Rand. You know, I can't wait to see that. And did I say Flicker already? All right,
Yeah.
Flicker.
Flicker, Flicker.
Or the Kyrian, game of not game of dances, game of houses.
Oh, we're gonna get lots of Kyrie and Game of Houses. Don't you worry. That's probably gonna be the whole fucking season.
Game of one.
Because when you play the game of houses, you win.
Yeah,
Or you
we're
die.
2
Oh wait,
minutes
sorry,
in.
that's Game of Thrones.
We're 2 minutes in and we're freaking already cursing. But yeah, we're gonna see
Sorry.
Game of Houses. It's gonna be like, I shouldn't use the R word, but a bunch of degenerate idiots trying to talk to each other and drooling out of the side of their mouth, and we're gonna call that political intrigue. Oh,
Yes.
sorry.
Do you think we'll go into the alternate world? Do you think they'll go into the
No, of
alternate
course
world?
not. Well,
course
we're
not.
in the alternate world. We're in the one where the dark one won.
This is another turning of the wheel, much like the turning of the stomach when you go to an all-you-can-eat buffet at a truck stop and get about 2 hours down the road. It's another turning of that kind. Let me shout out William Richards, who's out there. Jim C. Thanks, everybody.
Oh boy. Well, yeah. So, man, yeah. So Salty already has covered the article we're going to look at thoroughly on his channel, but there was a lot of meat on that
You gotta
bone.
make
So
No,
What's that?
no, we're not even done. And it was you guys who made it. Your interaction. There's so much. There's so many little pooplets of information for the show that are coming out, and I think what's really interesting is that it really is just chiclet-sized nothing. There's chiclet-sized nothing, and I don't know if we're ever going to get a trailer. I mean, I think when we do, I don't think any of us will be prepared for it. Let's just say that.
God. I know I'm not. Jeez, man. Could they write worse? I don't think so. But they will, because we're going to have like 3 or 4 episodes of just Moiraine in Carhian talking nonsense. So, and we already know they can't write dialogue, like you said. So we're gonna have to deal with the worst political intrigue maneuvering. Because they're not going to use the book stuff, right? And Rand's not going to be getting any notes or anything like that, right? It's all going to be Moiraine coming to claim her place in Carhian as the ruler, because she's now cut off from the One Power, doesn't know what to do with herself. So since she can't ruin the White Tower, she's going to go ruin Carhian.
Yeah.
Or Carrion or whatever.
With her non-canonical sister, I did that video today, whose existence is half of a sentence. And
the whole I guess I touched a nerve with the sister thing. I guess I don't know if I did or it was just sort of
good.
But who gives a crap about Maureen's sister?
She has a sister?
Apparently.
Yeah, she was all about the horses and hawking and had a bad temper.
And that's all that's known about her.
That's the sense.
She did nothing. There's nothing like.
It's a
what
New
is she?
Spring. Yeah.
Like mentioned, she's not even in New Spring though.
There
she's
is no dialogue, no scene. It is a thought that Moiraine has about her sister.
Right. So again, I guess I'll just bring it up. But it's like,
you think her sister will be Taverin too?
Of course. Well, everybody's a Taverin, right? I mean, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody seems to be Taverin.
The same day.
And probably gay too. And probably gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just not the story.
Well, it's just it's one of those things. It's like, right, and Oh God, this like if so like I'm just still sort of lost for words because it's just like, you know, I think somebody sent, I forgot who it was. There's a whole list of characters that are nowhere to be found. Like, especially like important ones, like Huron is gonna not be in this, right? I consider Huron to be a very, very important character here, right? And we're worried about the backstory of Moiraine's sister. Why like the non-existent sister, another character, like what was it? The the brown that was mentioned in the histories that now has a full character of the girl from Game of Thrones, or not Game of Thrones, from Harry Potter. I forget.
Who was also in Peripheral.
Is she? Oh,
Yeah.
great! Season 2. Oh
No,
boy,
she was in that first season.
was she?
Yeah,
I must have blocked it out.
Yeah, she was one of the guys helping the rich dude out.
Was she? But okay. Okay.
Audio check. Is this better?
Yeah, much better.
Yeah.
Much better.
This restream flipped me to the Bluetooth. So next time, just yell at me live. Sorry about that, chat.
No, you're good. It was only for a second, but yeah. So like, what? God, I can't even freaking remember. Whatever.
I forget what's her name.
Whatever,
is her name like Karen with a Y or something? Is that her name?
It might as well be.
No.
I mean, she looks like she wants to speak to my manager.
Well, but I don't even give a fuck what she looks like. Who cares about Moiraine's sister? Like, it's another non-existent character, and it's like, if you're gonna do backstories of characters, why not just do backstories of actual characters instead of making up characters? Oh, we all know why.
They're not the stars of the show, Steve.
Well,
Rosamund Pike
exactly.
is the star.
Yeah, well, that's it. Well, that's it right there, because they're making up like the Great Hunt. Rosamund Pike and Rosamund Pike's Moiraine is going. I wonder if that's how they're going to start announcing it. She's going to be the star of season 2 in the Great Hunt, where there's no story for her.
Do you think they will? Do you think they will incorporate the chapter and spread it out over 8 episodes?
Which chapter?
The chapter where where she gets attacked by the drag car.
No, drag cars aren't a thing. So that won't even be in it. She's just gonna go straight to, like, she's gonna have a little like bit of a motivational self-talk, and then she's gonna get pissed off at Lan for standing there, and she's gonna go, "I'm gonna go home and take care of business," and then and then it's gonna be all, Lan, basically Lan's storyline, or not Lan, Tom's storyline from the Great Hunt, with all the stuff he was doing for Rand, but she'll be doing it for herself and doing it for herself. I mean, what do you think? I mean, Nate, is that where you're at? I mean, I don't know. Like,
yeah, it's the Wheel of Pike.
Oh.
The Wheel of Pike. Oh my god.
I hear it's an audiobook series now, The Wheel of Pike.
Oh god.
I shared that in my video. I got just enough of it in without getting claimed. Let me shout a couple people out. We've got Jacob Ironside is here with us. Janen Klassen is here. Staple Bow, and then some numbers is here as well. If we missed you, it's
excuse me.
I'm not very smart. That's why. And it's Steve's show. So, but yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Well, we all know where this came from. It was announced back in December, before the show was even done, where they were going, and Rafe Judkins was defending what he did by stilling Rosamund Pike, because he knew that she wasn't going to be in the Great Hunt, except for it's less than 8% of the book, one chapter, and then she's not in The Dragon Reborn at all. So he had to make up this bullshit storyline.
I think 8% is being very, very generous.
I think it's very generous as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Let me just, and again, I'm not trying to take over. I just want to show you these quotes because I didn't pull them out of my ass. Now, there's a lot of other information that I want to cover because it'll tell us where they're going to go in season 2. God, that makes me throw up in my mouth every time I see that.
Okay.
They're right there. Look at that. Someone should wipe that off her nose. Let me see.
It makes me so not hard.
Yeah. Why did Moiraine lose the power to channel in Wheel of Time season 1? Yeah. and Rafe Judkins said it, I think this will be one thing that has book fans talking a lot and thinking about, and I think we have a great plan for what we do with it, and a lot of it is to give Rosamund Pike more to do. That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, well, I mean, and lately, I'm sure, you know, because you're on the pulse of things, Salty, and I don't know if Brian and Nathan have been looking at to try and find Wheel of Time news per se, but everything that has popped up lately for me has been something about Rosamund Pike this, Rosamund Pike this, Rosamund Pike only acts more range. Rosamund Pike is now reading the books. Rosamund Pike is now doing this. And that article you sent me, that's where I saw it. I couldn't remember because I just did my Cads Away video today.
Yep.
That Washington Post article, I went down to the comments. They are just obliterating.
I would love to see that because I didn't cover that because I knew you said you wanted to doing a video. So I try not to step on other people. And
yeah, so I'll still be
the
doing
audio
it,
book is nuts. I mean, like I listened to the samples they had on YouTube. I think she'd be a great narrator for what she did before, which was Pride and Prejudice, some of the classics, some Shakespearean stuff. She's a capable, competent actress, and I see her doing more period pieces and legitimate theater because I think she's a good actress. I don't think she maybe should be advising Mr. Judkins on what to do with with Robert Jordan's character. Just gonna put that right there. So
yeah, no, so I maybe I'll bring it up, but just one of those let me see if it's as I remember it. There's a few of them looking forward to it. Here, I'll just bring it up. But if I remember right, because it's like a lot of like the first few were like, oh, I'm looking forward to what blah blah blah, and then further down it's like, why do we have this?
Yeah.
You know, it's already been done. That type of stuff. Wow, that looks really far out there. Let's do that a little better.
Use the force, Luke.
That a little better. Everybody can read that now. It looks like
A little bit more.
Well, I'll do one more. It's not too bad.
Do it to
There we
me
go.
one
That's
more
better.
time. Perfect.
That's better. Okay. So let's see. One can blah, blah, blah. Not sure why Wheel of Time needs another audiobook reader. The original by Michael Kramer, Kate Redding is excellent. My guess is that Amazon is trying to boost the streaming series. So that's the second to the top one. So let's see here. I hate how Amazon has split from Jordan's character, especially Perrin and Matt. I admire Pike and wish her well reading the real thing. I won't watch the second season.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Lost my interest in fan. That's something else. That's something else. Neat interview.
Let me shout out some people in chat.
Yeah.
We've got Forsaken is here, and it moved on me, Brian. I don't know if you've seen anybody. Are you gonna? Are you?
We have Maaliner called us toxic, and it's true.
Hey,
Toxic.
thank
I can't
you.
speak for him.
That's my middle name. It's Salty Toxic Traveling.
I am a toxic. Yay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I got that tattooed on my toe.
I thought
What?
you
You're toxic?
your butt.
So so there's another one fully narrated. So yeah. So but I'm a big fan of Rosamund Pike, similar to what you said, sort of. But I can't get into the series. Oh my god, I don't know what the hell this one is though.
What's that?
Oh, I think they're talking. Okay, the Wheel of Time is full of bland, racist, stereotype characters, culminating in a reveal of villain that his schemes which are viciously anti-Semitic. It's absolutely garbage, and I'm appalled that it stays on the air. I'm sure the fans will visit. So I don't know. Like, wow. Like, I don't like the show. But
Anti-Semitic?
Damn.
Well, no, he's talking. I think he's talking about the show, but it's just like I don't see. I mean, I don't like the show, but holy shit, bro! Like, wow, and hard.
Chat. I mean, seriously, chat. Did you pick on? So here's the thing. I picked on shitty writing, bad direction, not great lighting, not the greatest audio, nonsensical plot, bad casting, really shitty pacing. but I didn't pick up on anti-Semitism. Did
Oh,
did
I mean,
anybody pick up
the
on
TV
that?
I mean,
I don't know.
was there any jokes about about fees or
Well, I mean, that's what
or,
this next comment is.
or
is
or
like,
this or this? I mean,
the next comment is this TV series is really awful and nothing like the books. It's
Oh.
a screenwriter's fan fiction with characters, names, blah blah blah. Totally different than
Okay.
story. That being said, what anti-Semitic about it? Yeah, like it's like what? I don't just
Staple
because,
Bow.
Well,
Staple Bow
and-
says he thinks that he's talking about Padden Fane. Again, I did not pick up on any low-key anti-Semitism with Padden Fane at all.
Well, if you
At
look at
all.
William Richards' comment, dude
Oh,
took
wait.
one look at Ishii and went small hat. And so there's your deep cut look at the anti-Semitism right there, because the main villain happens to be an Arab.
I love how this guy's like, are you talking about the shows, the show or the book? So, so it's like it spirals down into like it's yeah. So it's
Man, they haven't seen that kind of activity surrounding Wheel of Time TV in a long time.
well, it's mostly responding to that guy with the anti-Semitic comment, going, it's bad.
That'll do it
but
every
what are you
time.
talking about?
derails every publication. Let me shout out Frank Blazewski. You're a fellow Pole nerdporial. Am I saying it right? Frank?
oh, sorry, Frank Blazkevich, I think.
Yeah,
He's
you're in
probably-
Chicago. Okay, so yeah.
He's probably gonna say
Blazkevich.
no. You don't know how to freaking pronounce that name.
Blazkowicz. Dude, we're trying.
Blazkowicz.
I'm like 1/3 Polish, so give me a
I
break.
think Blazkevich or Kavitz, maybe. I don't know.
Anyway, let's talk
Doesn't
about
matter.
Wheel of Time. Welcome,
Frank.
So
We first names around here. We're on a first name basis, right?
it's true. Oh, very nice.
Oh boy, but yeah. So I don't know. We all know where that Moiraines' sister. I know you posted a thing about Moiraine's brother being cast, and it's going to be nonsensical Moiraine bullshit for at least 3 episodes. You got like I know. Last time we talked to Alex, and I think it was Pips too. I'm not sure, but I was wondering how much screen time we thought each character's going to get. The more we see released about all Moiraine's relatives being cast, we're going to get a lot of Moiraine in something that she should not be in.
Well,
Yeah,
and
a lot.
it's important to note that the more female castings that are announced, that is a direct takeaway from the real 3 main characters of the show.
100%.
Well-
100%.
And this is also why, look, we okay, we all know it's not going to be the books. We all not even close, right?
No.
But that's also why I keep saying, and that's why I truly do believe that that's why they're trying. They say that they're doing the Great Hunt and the Dragon Reborn is because saying it's the Dragon Reborn gives them the excuse to yeet Rand out of there and give a bunch of stuff to, because all this stuff that they're giving them more. Think of all this stuff that if we were, I know. Let's play a game. Let's pretend we're actually adapting the real story. Think of all the stuff that would have to be covered from the Dragon Reborn and the Great Hunt to make it a coherent adaptation.
Almost 1,400 pages.
Just between the events of Falme and Stone of Tyr alone, I mean, those. I mean, just the things that happened. There's at least an episode, probably more each for each of those events. Now we already know that Tyr is gone, yeet, right? And half of the good scenes with Rand and Hurin, well, not half, all of the scenes with Rand, Hurin, and Loyal gone. So it's just like, and they're filling it in the backside with these castings of Moiraine's family because, well, Tom's not there. Tom's not in season 2 either, so no Tom in the Great Hunt, right? So we remove Tom, we put Rosamund Pike in there. I'm gonna just stop saying Moiraine. Rosamund Pike in there, and there you go. We have a season now, right? How much you want to bet Suan Sanche uses that stone Terran Graal to teleport to her bedchamber in Carhian to
That's
visit?
what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to speculate on that detail, but I think it's a sure thing that with the casting of, you know, the entirely fabricated storyline for Rosamund Pike's sister, because it's not Moiraine, and then of course you got Suan Sanche, and they're gonna slam clams in that, and you know, and probably spend all this time with her brother and make her brother a sympathetic villain or some bullshit like this, and it's just. It gets old, but what it does is it plays to the strength of these writers, the writers of Chuck and the CW, and all of these other things. And then, of course, looking ahead to season 3, Porio, you're going to love this. There's a director who was responsible for a lot of episodes of Star Trek Discovery, who's going to be doing season 3 with some other people. So we all have that to look forward to season 3. So,
Moiraine's brother. Is it Yana?
So Moiraine's got a brother now too.
Yeah, it's kind of that's a legitimate casting because of what goes on, but Moiraine shouldn't be there.
Okay,
you know?
So his brother exists, or her brother exists in world, right? But it's never made important. He's a Damodred.
Yes.
So that's it. Like his relation to Moiraine in the series is nothing. At this point in her life, she is 100% committed to the White Tower, as every Aes Sedai is. Once you become Aes Sedai, you're supposed to forego your homeland and everything. That is the Tar Valon and the White Tower are your loyalty, your life, and everything.
And now another thing, and I did not want to go down this road. But in speaking with Daniel made a comment that Moiraine is over 100 years old.
Barthanes is his cousin, right? Yeah, I think you're right. It's
Okay.
not brothers.
Moiraine is 100 years old and looks young and beautiful because of being an Aes Sedai. Her sister arguably is dead. Okay, now just putting that out there.
I thought Moiraine
was.
I actually looked up her age.
35, 50 years old.
I looked at her age. She's in her 40s, according to.
Is she?
Yeah.
I thought Daniel was saying that Moiraine was 100 years old. I thought she was more closer to like 60.
Cousin, you're right. Cousin.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're right. Yeah, no. So I got Barthane. Was it Barthane? Yeah, whatever. Her relatives are popping up in the series as brothers and sisters, apparently. So.
I recognize the actor
41,
that plays Barthanes and he was in Game of Thrones. He was the fuck buddy of Sir Loras. You know, well, So the whole he was the one that told the church, and the church, you know, the Church of Light, you know, sent Loras to the Is
that who he is? So I think that. So is he officially cast as her brother? I saw you said
Featherton. Featherton.
They're listing that as her brother, correct? Not her cousin.
Well, and that's why I said her brother. Okay.
Okay. No, I'm just making sure because Yana is right. Is it? If I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I apologize. But she doesn't have. Yeah, it's her cousin. But whatever. It's more bullshit to get her more involved in something she has no right to be involved in.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mags, for the donuts. Appreciate you.
How you could not cover the Great Hunt in 8 episodes without the made up Rosamund Pike storyline. You couldn't. Adding the Rosamund Pike storyline just to the Great Hunt, you can't do it. But adding the Great Hunt to the Dragon Reborn with the made-up Rosamund Pike storyline, what do you think we're gonna get? I mean, unless it's just exposition where she shits on everything and talks about everything and says, Ran wandered the desert and blah, 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 and they have exterior shots, and then they go to her in bed with not Suan Sanche. I mean, do you think that's what they're gonna do?
Well, I don't know what they're going to do at this point, and I'd love to see a trailer because, I mean, not that the trailer's going to show anything either, but, I mean, they're adding so much bullshit. It's like, you're, and I know by these idiots' freaking minds that Dragon Reborn and The Great Hunt are the same book.
Aren't they?
Yeah, right. There's a, yeah.
I just read them. I mean, they go from point A to point B, and they go out to inns. We go into towns, and there's descriptions of roofs, the different slated roofs or thatched
fights
roofs
at the end, right?
There's fights at the end, and then Balsamon gets impaled. Sorry.
Oh man, because I don't know. I'm trying to. I don't know what they're gonna do. Like I really, at this point, I don't know what the hell they're gonna show on this because That's why I wanted to play the game of what the hell are they gonna remove and what the hell are they gonna put in there, because it's like if we're going to tell a one-to-one story, we now know Tom. Obviously, Tom's not there. We know Moiraine's gonna get all this extra bullshit. What all is being removed for this extra bullshit? It's only 8 hours of television, and we know
all the good stuff from
50% of it, 45% of it is now going to be Moiraine.
Rand, Matt, and Perrin, and I bet you what they're going to do is they're going to focus on Perrin because they probably thought when this was shot, and this was shot a long time ago, that they probably spent too much time on Rand, who nobody knows who the hell Rand is. But I think they're going to focus on Perrin. And of course, they're going to set him up with Avendia, and they're going to have some bullshit thing and watch Avendia and Perrin hook up.
Well, I can't believe that. I can't believe. So I'll be interested to see what happens with people when Fail is removed for Avienda. So that'll be an interesting one too, because that is a huge change, yes. and you can almost bet dollars to donuts that's happening, because I mean, why else is Avienda and Perrin together?
So I got a question. Regarding the show's Pat and Fane, because of how they chose to cast Pat and Fane. Do you think the reason why Pat and Fane is a bad guy because of some past transgression that maybe Tam, Althor, or Abel Cawthon did to him, and that's why he hates them and the Emmons Fielders and Rand, or he just wants to be a bad guy? I'm sure, because we live in current day, and there has to be.
Oh yeah, who wronged him in what way to make him a dark man? Like that sounded bad. A mean guy.
Brian's onto something here. I think Brian's onto something.
Unfortunately, you're probably right, but I don't know. I think we're giving them too much credit, getting Pat and Fane any backstory. I think he's just gonna walk around with a box and twirl his mustache that isn't there.
With a box.
I mean, I don't know what's in that box. Apparently, there's a horn in there. But,
you know who does know what's in boxes? Both Siwan Sanche and Moiraine. Staplebow says, how about when they make Elaine and Avendia lesbians? That's going to be really interesting. At this point, Rafe Judkins threatened us all on Twitter because we didn't like the show because of the poor writing. And his way to threaten us was saying that he's going to turn even more of the characters. He's going to change their sexuality.
But wait a second.
That's legitimately what the showrunner did. So would it surprise anybody if that was indeed the case?
But wait a second. Is he going to get left by another woman?
Maybe he'll kill this one. Maybe he'll kill this one with an axe too.
0 for 2. Perrin's going to be 0 for 2, huh?
Somebody needs some OSHA training with tools. I'm just going to say that.
Well, he isn't a blacksmith, to be fair. So, I don't. He shouldn't be picking up any of that stuff. He's not trained, right? Nobody trained him.
He'll have some random girlfriend at the beginning of this season. He'll fridge her too.
Yeah, right. He'll try and fridge Avienda, and she'll be like, and she'll have her spear or shield or some bullshit. I don't fucking know. Oh boy. So what do we think about the casting of Lanfear, the official announcement of Lanfear?
I mean, she's pretty. I mean, she's not. Lanfear is supposed to be hot, like you have to make. Well, I mean, this version of Egwene, I'm sure anybody could make her feel lesser. But in the book, I remember in Dragon Reborn, like when Egwene encounters Lanfear in the tower. Like she was just like,
yeah. Well,
she literally felt lesser around this person.
Yeah. I'll say this: among the rest of the women that this show has cast, she will be considered what would be environmentally hot. because she will be a lot more attractive than 95% of the people on this show.
That's fair.
Is that
really
more
fair.
is that more attractive than a handsome woman, as Mr. Jordan put it?
Right.
Well, but so, and I think Sapo, I'm sort of there with like, and that's what I said with my in my video. It's not the worst. It's actually closer than they've gotten on a lot of the characters. At least she's pale, she's tall, she's got black hair.
Do you think she could pass off as Aes Sedai? Because
I think she should be Eladia. That's what I think. I think she should be Eladia, and they need to go get some hot models that can barely act, can just talk in a breathy voice to be Lanfear. Because really, when it comes down to Lanfear, they can train her up for later. All she's got to do is like, Rand, you want to sleep with me, Rand? Why don't you go get the Horn of Valyr, Rand? That's all. That's her role for the first bit. It's her trying to just be hot for Rand to fall in love with her. That's what she does.
Convinced they're gonna make her trans. I'm
still make Lanfear trans.
Yeah, I'm still convinced that's gonna happen, and that's one of those things I desperately hope I'm wrong with.
How are they gonna make Lanfear trans? Like, her whole thing is his
how did they make any of this show?
Yeah, it's true.
I shouldn't be laughing. That's not funny.
It makes sense that Rand wouldn't have any romantic partner. He's too busy saving the world. This is just Rafe and who the fuck said some moronic bullshit like that? Like, dude, anybody that thinks Rafe is improving shit is high on fucking something.
I went down a rabbit hole last night with a lot of people
God.
who are on this show, and I was so angry with the things that I read in certain corners of Twitter about this show and about how important it was to show all these independent, strong women. And it was one of the most cringe things I've ever seen, because I don't spend a lot of time on Twitter and go into little Twitter weird groups. But this one had the anime, avatar with the flag of the Crimea with the T flag, and y'all know what I'm talking about. And then a series of, I don't know, fucking butterflies and God knows what the hell else. But it's like, it's all just wackadoodle stuff. It's all just wackadoodle stuff. And one of them, I think, just watched Steve's video yesterday and was ranting about like what a misogynist he was. And I was like, yes, Steve, yes, you're making a positive impact on the world.
Well, I think that's what I was talking about, touching the nerves. Like, if you want to explore the backstories of characters, that's fine. How about one that's important? Like, there's plenty of important characters that we don't get any backstory on that I'd love to hear about. Moiraine's non-existent girl or sister, I don't give two shits about. Now, I meant with that, I lost track of what I was going to say, but I just like,
Lanfear casting.
Go ahead. I was going to say something, but I started getting angry about freaking Moiraine's sister again.
Jane Klassen says that Natasha O'Keefe is cute. I think she's a beautiful woman. She's a very beautiful woman, but she's not Lanfear. Because when I think about Lanfear, when I read the book, I thought about Sophia Loren in her prime, like a woman. You know what I mean? Like a woman who is going to throw you down, okay, and then have her way with you, and when she's done with you, you're going to weep for joy. Okay, that's the kind of woman Lanfear is. So I'm not getting that vibe from this cast.
So real quick, and I don't think this will spoil anything for Brian.
There it is. Yep, that's what
Lanfear. Yeah.
Stop in your tracks, hot. That's what it should be.
Yeah. Sophia Loren.
But and I think the porn star. Yeah, just try a porn star. That's it. That's all you need. You can
there are different definitions for
the woman.
You can
the person that was complaining about Steve was it was like, I looked at her Twitter. It was not safe for work. Like, there was,
dude. That's what I'm saying. like this is like some circle of hell. I am so glad I was born a long time ago that none of this was enabled. I'm just gonna say that.
So what I was going to say is the person that made this comment obviously doesn't understand how important his three love interests are to the whole plot, and how Rand probably would have destroyed the whole world if they weren't around. Right? So I won't say any more than that, but I think you guys probably agree on that. Rand would have killed everybody if he didn't have his love interest. So I'll just leave it at that. I don't think that's too much of a stapler. A spoiler. I said a stapler.
It's a stapler. Look
Stapler.
at Frank's comment. Pull up Frank's comment, will
Which
you
one?
please? It's back a little bit.
About Megan
Nerdportal,
Fox?
No,
Megan Fox
about
might pull it
Will.
off.
Okay,
where is it? You're looking
yeah,
for
it's Will Lanfear. Will Lanfear even talk to Rand? What if Lanfear goes after Egwene and Nynaeve instead?
We're doing it again, Arturo. I got it. We found it at the same time. We were StreamYard
That's
click
not good.
fighting again. What's up, Pops? We still gotta hook up, brother. Like, good lord.
Yeah.
Me and Pops I was supposed to help Pops with something, and it just our freaking we gotta figure that out. Will Lanfear ever talk to Rand? No.
I mean, like I said, what if Lanfear goes after Egwene and Nynaeve because Rafe Judkins.
Oh my gosh, you're an EVS lookalike, Nerdporio? How about that? You making that Cyberfrog money? Woo! It's Pops' birthday today. Happy birthday, Pops! All right, happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Yeah. So I think if Land's going after any of the boys, it'll be Perrin. It's clear they want Perrin to be the lead male from the pictures that they've shown. And that's about 3 characters back behind Nynaeve, Egwene, and Rosamund Pike, not Moiraine, Rosamund Pike as Moiraine, right? So I don't know. It's not the most egregious casting. I'm not. Like I said, and I think actually it sounds silly, but I think you're absolutely right. Is as Dave Z Dude said, Nathan, you're right. In terms of Wheel of Time show, she is actually galactically hot. So, in terms of who you're in terms of who you're standing next to, she looks way better than everybody else. So,
Stavo had a comment there. His last one.
Which one? Last one. This one.
Fucking. No. Sorry, the one. That one before that.
Okay, I still think she's gonna go do the. I still think they're gonna go the whole Lewis Theron was abusive to Lanfear, and that's why she's going the shadow route.
Sure, why not?
Not it's a fucking psycho.
Yeah.
Well, and that's sort of so hold on, and that sort of matches up with what Brian was pitching about Pat and Fane. So we're gonna go through all of the bad people and why they were pushed. They were good people, but they were just so mistreated they got pushed to the shadow. It's not that they were greedy or that they wanted to live forever or they wanted to be the most powerful or they were jealous of somebody else's strength. It's just they were pushed there by bad people.
It is how they were marginalized in society, and how they've risen above it.
Yep. So the good guys are actually the badder. They're the badder guys than the bad guys.
Good guys are the bad guys. That sounds about
just like Leslie Headland is doing with the Acolyte with Star Wars. Dave Z Dude says per Robert Jordan's own casting, Lanfear, and I got the picture up of who Robert Jordan thought of when he wrote the character of Lanfear. This is a younger Catherine Deneuve.
Mm-hmm.
Black hair, that heck yeah.
She was a damn beautiful woman.
There's a lot of great pictures of her. That's just one of them. But
and you're right. Is it Yana? Is it Yanen? I just want to make sure I'm because you're having a lot of freaking awesome comments today. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name right. Yes, she is just a psychopath. The psychopath that wanted power. That's it.
By the way, I actually got to the. I mean, I haven't read it, but I listened to the chapter where what's her name, Lanfear, reveals herself to Rand.
That's canon. Thank you. All right, good. Yes, and they were pushed to. You're right. I'm sorry, pushed to the shadow by bad men. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
So, Oh boy. So yeah. So I guess it's time because we don't want to be here forever. Let's take a look at this 10 reasons why. If you haven't seen Salty's video, go check it out.
Two videos.
Two videos.
Thanks for everybody
Yeah,
who's
sorry.
watched it already. So thank you.
Yeah. So we've already sort of covered this, but I was hoping to wait for the chat to fill up a little bit. I guess YouTube's not sharing this out very much, so we'll go with what we got. Thank you all for being here. And
You got 14 people with no freaking notice.
that's true. I'd say thank you.
The glass is half full.
I
Thank
said
you, everybody.
you.
I know I'm breaking your damn.
I said
pulse.
thank you.
I'm being
you know,
grateful.
all right. I'm
Just
grateful for
relax.
everybody that's here. We're getting some
Relax.
awesome comments in chat, so I love that. So if you have not seen this article, you're about to be in for some probably some hair pulling. Oh God, Staple, don't like.
That's
okay.
the one
Okay.
that I was like, oh
Okay.
my God,
Right.
dude.
Right.
Oh my God.
Okay, so you guys are just trying to get me to go over the edge tonight, aren't you? Okay, so all right.
Maybe.
All right. So first, anybody that knows me knows I'm a big Brandon Sanderson fan. I love Stormlight Archive. I love Mistborn, at least, especially Era 2. Okay. I am still a little bit questionable about how I don't think they really listened to much of his input at all. I don't know how much actual looking into what they had did that he got his producer credit. I'm not sure how much input or whatever he had in the show.
I have all the receipts, all the articles that came out in about what he said when they came out in November before the show, then again in January. I have all those receipts. We should do a show on it sometime. I don't have them handy. Just wanted to pop that out there because there was a long line of breadcrumbs. And we even argued amongst ourselves offline about what it all meant. So
yeah, so it's like, so I don't know. I don't know that I'm the world's biggest because I know there's some problems with his writing and I get that. And when it comes to his YouTube channel, I can't watch his YouTube channel anymore. I just can't do it because there's some weird things happening on his YouTube channel. But I'm a fan of his writing. Okay. Ha ha pops. Thanks. Okay. He is just so dead wrong about that Lanfear, that whole Lanfear thing. I don't know if that was like a hey, we need to spark up some interest in Wheel of Time, so we need to talk about the books, and since you wrote the books, you need to drop some weird comment about a character. I don't know what the fuck that was, but I'm approaching the chapters where Earmuffs, Nerporio. I'm approaching the chapters where Lanfear dies, okay? Because she dies. Perrin kills her, okay? Lanfear is not alive, okay? I don't give a fuck if you wrote the last 3 books for Robert Jordan or not. Thank you for writing the last 3 books for Robert Jordan. Lanfear is dead, okay? It is like in the whole argument that she's a more masterful of Tar than Perrin. I don't know that I buy that because that's Perrin's second home. He's a wolf. They live there. So you know what? Fuck off. Lanfear is dead. Okay, so
Yep.
And I love Sanderson. I don't know why the fuck. I have no idea where that came from. That whole Lanfear's alive thing. After the series, I don't know who even thought that. It's like he breaks her neck. Like I don't get it.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Well, the postscript additions to storylines that are finished cannot be considered canon because
agreed.
You're sitting there looking at things in retrospect all of a sudden.
Yes,
things that have been written and finished, and you can't sit there and take it back. I'm sorry. So, Harry Potter fans, guess what? Dumbledore may or may not be gay. It doesn't fucking matter.
He's not.
There you go.
Jane and Clausen says Sanderson has been infected by modern politics. His recent novels are rife with that woke mind virus. And you've also got let's see, we got Mahalina Nair is in here, and he says there's no way what he's saying is right. Yeah, I don't know why Sanderson's doing this stuff, playing the game.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. But Nerporio, you can put it back. You can put Nerporio. You're good. So I don't know. It's one of those things. I just Lanfear is the dusty wheel. Dusty wheel. We don't talk. That's a curse word around here. I can't. And I think that's probably it, because that's the dude that's in charge of all of his YouTube stuff now. So I just, I just don't care about it. So so I try to separate Sanderson from the Wheel of Time for myself. That's just what I do, and I get what you're saying about some of it being, some of his like newer stuff being having new in-world politics in it, I guess. Now times politics in it. I'm not. I'd like to know which books you're talking about. So tell me in chat which one you're talking about, because maybe the small ones that came from the new the secret novel thing. But I digress. Let's.
You have an awesome chat. Look, you have an awesome chat. I am watching William go back and forth with Forsaken, and William says Lanfear is an absolute psychopath. Stop trying to fix crazy chicks. And then Forsaken says it's a character flaw of his. You don't know how right you are. Well, it's true. I used to be on that train as well, betting on potential and ending up regretting it. I think Lanfear would be the ultimate love him and leave him.
Oh,
you know
probably.
I mean? If your nuts are still attached.
Well, leave him dead, probably. Okay, but so I don't know why I went off on that tangent, the mention of Sanderson, but
because it's Sanderson, dude. Because it's Sanderson.
Yeah. So Emerald Sea, yeah. Okay. I don't know about the most recent Mistborn. I'd have to. That's for another stream. But I enjoyed Lost Metal. Tress, yes, I agree. Okay, so 10 Reasons the Wheel of Time Season 2 is more exciting than Season 1. It says is. It doesn't even say will be. It says is. Wow.
And don't you love how they can't even format their own headline? No matter what you do, that one is dangling down there. I think they call it.
Yeah, I know, right? Like,
it's just like, it wasn't me. It's honestly, this is the level of attention and excellence at Screen Rant, everybody.
Well, even if they put will be, then season will be more exciting then Season 1 would at least be down below, right?
No F's given. No F's given at Screen Rant anymore. And hail to Benjamin Reno. Thanks for joining the chat.
Yeah, hey. What's up, Benjamin? All right. So, are we, if you have, so one in the chat if you've seen Salty's 2 videos. If you haven't, you're in for a treat. So, well, I'm just saying, because anybody that hasn't, you're in for a treat. Okay, you're in for. Are you ready to know why Season 1 is going to pale in comparison to the Rosamund Pike Moiraines show Season 2? Are you ready?
Nope.
Are you ready with bated breath? All right, here we go.
This is so terrible.
I'm not even gonna read any of this garbage about where they lie about adapting the books. We're not even gonna do that. Number 10. Wheel of Time Season 2 needs less lore setup than Season 1. Nerporio, there's mouth breather, Nerporio.
Not a mouth breather. I'm just get my mouth open.
What the hell happened? I went to full. My streamers just freaked out on me. I was gonna do. Let's see. This is let's see Nerporio's. He's done Galadriel. Now he's doing Perrin. He is a man of many talents. There you go.
Maybe a little wider, and maybe your head tilted a little bit, like you're. There you go. Are your
hands in your sleeves too? Okay, sorry. Oh, sure enough, his mouth is open. I didn't even correlate. Well, I mean, there you go. So, right on cue, Perrin's mouth breathing. Yep, there's the block of wood. Hold on, I'll solo Leo that. There we go. A 1-to-1 representation of Perrin's character. There you go. No axe. True enough. Definitely no axe.
And definitely no hammer.
Oh my god. All hail the Lord Dragon is right.
No big
Actually,
deal.
that's wrong. All hail the Lord Donut.
Mm-mm. I'm the Lord
Oh.
Donut. Rand is the Lord Dragon. Okay, that all hail the Lord Dragon. Be
My
humble.
mistake.
Dave Z
My-
dude
yeah, my
nails it.
mistake.
Be humble.
Dave's
Be humble.
Yes.
Dave Z dude nails it. He says, "What lore set up in
Yeah.
season 1?" I don't.
That
remember.
is exactly it right there. That is hashtag Noax. I like that.
What season? What's the season 1 that they're talking about? I didn't see a Wheel of Time season 1.
I'd still love to. I'm still waiting for it to come out, but the headline of this, it's like, I still don't do. What do you mean? Like what? Like if you are just, I wish my son wasn't sitting next to me while I was watching this, so I could ask him if he knows what the Horn of Valir was. Because of course, as we're watching this, I went off on a freaking tangent about the Horn of Valir being under was it his sister's throne or Agelmar's throne? I think it was Agelmar's throne.
No, he was a figurehead because he has a penis.
Well, of course, the women will hold the town, right? While men runs away. Sorry. But like, if you're not a fan of the show, the book series, and you saw these guys digging up this box, do you think any of them have any idea what's in the box? It could be a head, right?
What's in the box? What's in the box?
It's like, who know? Like,
Rosamund Pike's head.
Rosamund, no, too soon for that. Maybe it's another oath rod. Maybe it's another dildo rod.
Double-ended. It's a double-ended one.
Why? So just that right alone. What do you mean less lore? You didn't even set up the lore for the whole the item of focus for the whole next. Should be the item of focus for the whole next season. The Horn of Valir. Nobody who watched that show knows what the Horn of Valir is.
Hence
Why
the
would
Great
they?
Hunt.
They didn't even mention it. Did they mention the Horn of Valir once?
Nope.
Until the last episode?
Nope. They
Like,
didn't
Chad,
mention
tell me
that.
if I'm wrong.
They didn't mention the Great Hunt. None of the stuff that was lore dropped in all throughout Eye of the World to sit there and so that when they found it, all of a sudden they were looking at something and they realized what it was. You as the reader actually understood what it was, maybe not to the necessary degree, but you didn't need to. But you knew
Guys,
what it was.
all this stuff just gets in the way of Rafe Judkins and Amanda Schumann telling their story. It's their time. They were representing important 2021 agenda items: diversity, inclusion, equity. They don't have time for this patriarchal bullshit of Robert Jordan with his binary gender. Okay? And guess what? Season 2 is going to pick right up there. You know why? Because this thing has been sitting on a shelf for over a year. How fresh do you think the talking points are going to be in a season of television that was created probably 2 years ago, a year and a half ago?
Now, part of me was going to skip through some of these paragraphs, but if I remember right, there's actually a lot of self-owning going on in these paragraphs. Is that correct? Yeah. So there's a lot of self-owning, and I feel like some undertone from maybe there's somebody on our side at Screen Rant who's like, they're like, you have to write an article about this garbage show and make it look good. And this guy's like, all right, it's trash, but I'll do my best. And this guy's just sneaking jabs in here left and right. So I don't think, Nerporo, you haven't seen these yet, have you? I mean, you might have seen, you probably watched the video, so it doesn't matter. But here we go. Oh man, I almost skipped to number 9. We can't do that. Firstly, The Wheel of Time Season 2 is more intriguing than Season 1 because it will require less fleshing out of the series lore. The Wheel of Time Season 1 adequately
Good enough.
introduces the most key pieces of the lore in the series, such as the history of the Dragon Reborn. No, they didn't. And the breaking of the world. They've mentioned it. They didn't. Freeing Season 2. Like, that's it. That's all. That's what they explained. The Dragon Reborn and the breaking of the world. Freeing Season 2 to focus more on developing characters and plot.
That had nothing to do with Robert Jordan's world. That had nothing to do, again, aging up the characters, the fractal changes that occurred with that, making superpowered Nynaeve, making Nynaeve and Rand have sex in Egwene's parents' instead of the innocence that both she, in modesty, that both Egwene and Nynaeve have, which was essential to their character evolution, especially with a blooding love story with Lan, which took books.
The thing that makes me laugh. Go ahead, sorry. Longing.
And what have we heard about season 2?
Okay.
There's, and this is not Salty pulling something out of his ass. There's going to be a love triangle now in season 2 with Rosamund Pike, Lan, and Nynaeve. That's the report. Why?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing to adapt and no stories to tell in either The Great Hunt or The Dragon Reborn. They have to make this shit up to make this entertaining, guys. They have to.
Yeah. That way they can fill it in with their own story. They're not locked in and constricted by the books, unlike good adaptations do.
Yeah.
I just love how they say that, and then a couple of complaints about Wheel of Time season 1 where the characters are underdeveloped and the pace of events was too fast, so that extra time to flesh out characters and deepen the plot could prove invaluable.
This is from the Variety Fair, the Variety article that I covered back in November. That's when I first got called incel on YouTube for covering that review. And what Variety said is it was too fast. It was a series of nonsensical Scooby-Doo like chase scenes that ended up in nothing, and these characters felt like nothing. Like you didn't care about any of the characters. That was from the Vanity Fair article before the show even came out. So somebody maybe Googled some shit, but I think that's what they're referring to. You know?
Lady Trollocs. I can't wait for Lady Trollocs.
With penises. With penises.
On their foreheads? Oh man, I just
yes.
love how it's just like, oh, they adequately introduces the key pieces of the lore, and the characters were shit. But hey, that's why season 2 will be better, because they're gonna explain more about Rosamund Pike's Moiraine. Oh,
and again, I called it out on I think with Corey's video, but it's like the use of the word adequate. It's like when you're talking about something that you enjoy. When do you use the word? Whenever do you use the word adequate?
Adequate,
yeah. You know,
man.
You sit there and say you adequately, so you adequately forsook Barrelon, you adequately forsook Camelin, which covers 50% of the book.
Well, you know, I mean, I you know what? Adequate. I think Matt is an adequate character, and that scene, at the end of the book was very adequate. I didn't love it at all. It was just okay.
Right.
You know what the difference between adequate and really good is? I think it's 13, 14 books and millions of books sold. Adequate means that you have to fortify the ratings on your own streaming service to convince people that people actually love the show for months. And then one day, drop them down to about half the star ratings, from close to 5 down to 2.5. And then before season 2 comes out, refortify those star ratings for season 1 back up to what they were before, even though the view count has not substantively changed on your streaming platform. That's what adequate gets you. What do you guys know what I'm talking about? Go check it out. Not you, I'm saying to chat. So.
Oh yeah, no, I am just reaffirming what you're saying. What's up, son of Jockster? And who else? Just Gadfly showed up. Just want to say hello. Thank you for coming on. And yes, who said it here? Oh God, that picture of so-called blight is triggering at this point. Yes, it is. It's the worst. I don't know how anybody's thought the blight, and this is what came out of their head. But
it's season 1 of Stranger Things. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. It is. It's a bunch of mind flayers. You're right.
There's a bunch of trees bent over saying, "Thank you, sir. Can I have another?"
Ooh, are they attached by their tree dicks?
Well,
is this a giant Treebeard orgy? Is
this write the show?
Wait a second. Is Treebeard in there at the back? Is this an ent orgy right here? Is that what we walked into?
It's a tree dick ent daisy chain.
Should I close my eyes? I feel like I'm intruding on some intimate tree sexuals.
It's the ent centipede.
Entipede. This Entipede. The Great Entipede. Okay. The Wheel of Time will explore more of its world. No, it won't. Let's move on to the next one. Because we know it's going to go like to two places. It's going to go to Carhian and it's going to go to Falme. They're actually probably cutting out more places than they're going. Because guess what? They're still not going to Camelin.
I don't think they're going to Tear because they're
not going to Tear. There's no
with
way.
With non-Suan Sanchez Rainforest Cafe, idyllic, multicultural, handicap fatherhood, ESG, diversity, orgy backstory. When they showed Tear, where she was supposed to live, there was no stone, there was no rock. It was just rainforest because Rafe Judkins is such a big fan of this books. He knows what these locations looks like.
I didn't see you in chat, Fufu. I'm so sorry. What's up? Leave it alone. All right, trip it. It's okay. Fufu. Fear the name Fufu. She'll tear your nuts off. All right, relax. Trust me. All right. So no, they're not going to go to Tier. I agree 100%. No way they're going to Tier. I still am a big believer. There's not going to be any Calendar. Repeat what you said because I think I spoke over you. Do you remember what you said? I apologize.
Ooh.
You. Can you repeat that, Salty? I think I spoke over you.
I don't remember. Like,
I'm
what did
so
I
sorry.
I think I was talking about I don't think they're going to go to Terror because of what happened with the non-Suan Sanche of the show. Remember, it was the little diverse girl with the handicapped father, and they showed it was a rainforest, like with a river running through it like the Amazon. Not at all the way it was described in the books as a bustling port city at all. And so they panned around where the show Suan was from, and there's no rock. You know, there's no city.
Sarcasm doesn't flow through text. I just wanted to make sure you didn't miss something you wanted to hear. So, thanks for repeating. My bad. But I think I agree 100%. No Tier. I still think there won't be any Calendar. I think that I don't think we're gonna hit Camelin. I really don't think we're gonna hit Camelin again. I think Camelin is out. We'll do some White Tower, we'll do Falme, and we'll do Carhian, and that'll be it. So, I don't think anybody that thinks that we're going to the waste is just being led astray. I think Rand gets captured in front of Falme. That wheel is going to be Falme. I don't think it's the waste. I don't think Rand's going to go anywhere near the waste. Personally,
what if Gadfly is sitting there posing that they're going to Rudian? What if they actually bring Rudian to Falme instead too?
Oh God, dude!
Why not? And I hope they reuse the same set that they did for Tarvalin and Shader Logoth. I hope they use it a third time.
I don't think Rodion. Again, that was another thing that I talked about with the picture of Matt having that staff with the raven on it. I don't think I think they're going to eliminate Rodion eventually. I think they might get rid of it entirely.
It's too much of a commitment on
Rodion.
Not Ruidian. Not Ruidian.
It's Rodion.
Rodion.
I said it differently too. Yeah. Until everybody started correcting me because I didn't have the internet when I read these books, and so.
But there's too much of a commitment, I think, for that with CG. I don't think that they're going to go there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be completely eliminated. So I see you brought up a map here. What is this? Is this
This is Tear. This would be Tear, and then if you look at it, that big globby thing up on the top, that would be the stone of Tear. Now, when we talk about that, if you guys are not book readers, not to talk down to you, but you get an idea of the scope and scale of this and its importance to every character from Emmett's Field in this story, if we're honest about it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
But
well, and the other thing, we actually sniped this out a long time ago in another live stream. The way the landscape of a map that they're showing, and I think in that sneak peek, we scoped out that was Falme, way many months ago. Oh, yeah. And as soon as we knew they were going to Falme for that, hell, we know from Trip, Miss Fufu herself, her investigative work being a spy in some of these other shield channels, that picture of Avienda with her hand in her pocket while Perrin gapes with his mouth open. That's from episode 8. So that's episode 8. That's Falme. There's no way they're going to Tyr. They don't. With all the Moiraine bullshit they're going to put in there and all that storyline, they don't got time. They just don't have time.
They're never going to go to Camelin either.
Oh, they're definitely not going to Cayman. They're definitely not. There's no way they're going. They don't have time. I mean,
they don't have talent.
Well, that's too, of course. I mean, that goes without saying. But no, you're right. You're absolutely 100% right. But it's just like, unless it's just like a flash, it was like, oh, hey, this is more gays. Back to Tar Valon. Like it's just, I don't think it's gonna happen. I think you're gonna have 3 main scents in this one. It's gonna be Tar Valon, Falme, and Carhian, and that's gonna be it. And then you'll have some scenery shots of them traveling in between the two. Maybe they'll use the Waze crappy set again. I don't know. And that's it.
They'll reuse shots from season 1 that they've already filmed.
Right. Well, I did find it hilarious that one of the news outlets couldn't tell the difference between the entrance to Tar Valon and Shardar Logoth. That was telling too. That Matt is walking into Tar Valon, and they're like, Matt here is seen returning to Shardar Logoth. It's like, dude, that's Tar Valon. It's like, oh my god, like you can't. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. You can't tell one from the other. So.
Welcome to Wheel of Woke Sellouts, who's joined the chat. Just wanted to call people out that have joined.
That name.
I know. Welcome to Mr. Zip is also here, and Evil Horned Rat God. I want to party with you, buddy. You sound like my kind of people.
I want to
here
see
as well.
I want to see some artwork of this Evil Horned Rat God. It's got to be sick. It's got to be terrifying.
Yeah.
It's Ezra Miller.
Oh,
okay. I cannot. It's not safe for YouTube to show.
Wait. I'm sorry. So this is where I got another laugh in our when making the videos. Another appealing aspect of Wheel of Time Season 2 will explore more of Robert Jordan's vast world. No, it won't. The Wheel of Time Season 2 is expected to journey to the Ale Waste. It won't. And it could include the cities of Carhian and Tyr. It won't. No Tyr, Carhian, yes. The Wheel of Time. It doesn't say Falme though. Like this is.
Right. Well, it doesn't say Falme, even though Judkins is on record of saying we are going to Falme.
Yeah, right. It doesn't even say Carhian, Falme, and Tyr. It just says Carhian and Tyr. Whatever. The Wheel of Time Season 1 focused mostly on the 2 rivers in Tar Valon. It did. We were like an episode of the 2 rivers in Tar Valon, although it also featured the city of. Do you remember going to Baileron, guys? Nerporial. Do you remember going to Baileron?
In the TV show.
Berlon, what's that? I
Berlon? Yeah, remember that scene you wanted to see so badly?
Yeah, I wanted to see Matt pull a prank on Dane Bornhall, not our Dane Bornhall, but the Dane Bornhall. And no, we didn't get to see that. We didn't get to see Rand get accosted by a fade in the inn because a certain Padden Fane spotted him.
We didn't get
actually no, he didn't spot him. He tried to talk to him.
I love so much of that Berlon scene. I love so much of that Berlon scene. There was
tension, and then they have to flee, and then Moiraine.
We did get Tom's heroic stand. Like we lost Tom's instead. Tom is dead in a barn somewhere because there's no escape.
That's terrible.
So yeah,
like once there was the battle right after Berlon. Like they skipped. Everything that was important was skipped. This season 2 is going to do the same, unless they're going to pull the same bullshit that Game of Thrones season 6 did, where they skipped. They decided to do things from books 4 and 5 out of order because we have some stuff that we didn't do, so we're going to just shove that in.
You've read book 2, and are you reading book 3 now, or have you finished book 3?
He's on.
You were on the finale stream,
dude. I do a lot. I know you did the Great Hunt. I just didn't know if you.
I'm actually once I finish Lord of the Rings, I'm going to start reading, literally reading the.
Okay.
So I've been listening. I listened to the first 11 chapters.
So you did the
Shadow Rising. So I already heard the stone stands. The stone stands. I loved how Michael Kramer really, made it sounded commanding. Like he sounded like a totally different Rand.
Because he can freaking act
Sounds toxic.
Because you know why? Because the end of the Dragon Reborn is a turning point for Rand, and something clicks in his brain, and he is the dragon. So Michael Kramer's voice changes for Rand from then on. Rand's voice is completely different from the Dragon Reborn on from the way, and as the series goes on, his voice still changes even more.
Yeah, it's like he's like, Fade, come at me, Fade. Like I was like, holy crap!
Yeah, that ain't happening. They ain't even going to tier, so we ain't gonna get any of that. So
I'm not gonna get that.
Go ahead.
Michael Kramer is no Rosamund Pike. That's
oh my
Jesus.
God! I was listening to York. I was listening to the clip that you put, and I just like I was like Bart and Lisa whenever they have to go to Aunt Fanny and Aunt Selma's house, and they're like,
oh yeah. So I still got a video. I still have to. I still have a video I have to post matching up their two clips together. I don't know if that's. I haven't got a chance to. Is that in today's video, Salty? That you did that?
Yeah.
So I haven't had
today's video. I think
did you put them together, or just did you put a snippet of hers?
I'm doing a thing now where I'm trying to build a case for what it is that I'm saying, based on what they've already said, like Rafe Judkins and everybody, and then Rosamund Pike. But yeah, you can get away with under 7 seconds of that.
Well, because I have because what I have is I have a little snippet of her reading for Loyal.
That's what I did.
Do you have the Michael Kramer portion too?
No.
Okay, so I put them back to back, so you can hear both. So
I want that, and I knew you were going to do that, so that's why I didn't.
So I'm gonna do that because, but that's here nor there. Keep an eye out for that. So so we're going to Tar Valon, of course, because that's where we're gonna live in Carhian. So what a mess. You good, Easton?
Do you think they're gonna reuse Kyrian and Tar Valon as the same set?
What's that?
Do you think they're going to reuse Tar Valon again for another city?
Oh God,
Guardian,
like Kyrian
instead of black, like in Shadowtown, fuck, and then white for Tar Valon. They'll like paint it like yellow for Carrion.
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys in chat are crushing it with your comments. We're trying to keep up, but my God, I mean, everything that you guys are saying, that's part of the reason I think Steve wanted to cover this article again, is I wanted to just record this thing, and luckily enough, both Nathan and Steve were free, and I knew that Steve was going to cover us on the channel, which is why I wanted to make sure Emporial and, those white cloaks are here, but they're busy. But just seeing your guys' reaction live in chat, I mean, you kind of see how ridiculous it's getting right now. And again, every day we're getting a dribble of another nonsensical casting announcement, which keeps leading us farther and farther away from what the heart of this story is. Now, Emporial, I know that in your heart, the Wheel of Time book series is always been about Rosamund Pike. Now, there's a spelling error that says Moiraines Damodred in Robert Jordan's original works, which luckily is being corrected by Amazon, but she's the
dragon. She is the dragon. She is all the Taveran.
That's a last Jedi reference.
I really want her to say, I am all the Taveran.
Yeah,
something.
I didn't see that movie, like so that's why I said it's still nobody else did either. The last or the
well,
Return of the Skywalker.
Ray can heal, right? So she was able to, like, so yeah.
You're gonna kill the stream talking about Star Wars. Trust me,
I know,
it's happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody give a shit about that? Is there anything like what could possibly be worse than Wheel of Time? Anything touched by Lucasfilm?
Right.
Then we're just gonna leave that there.
Or new track.
$900 million will tell you how much people are not interested.
Yeah. And the thing about all this is that every one of these new casting announcements, which are nonsensical, which just it like who cares? It moves us farther and farther away from what the core of Wheel of Time is, which is Rand, Matt, and Perrin. And Steve said it really eloquently that everybody else, including Egwene, Nynaeve, Moiraine, all of these other important characters, they are moved by the Taveran. They are drawn into the pattern to help these three Taveran, primarily Rand. But how would anybody watching this show think that? Because that's in no way Have they represented that Perrin does anything other than menstruate and breathe through his mouth all the time? Matt's a degenerate, and Rand, what the hell did Rand even do? Rand didn't do anything season
Nothing.
1.
Wine for Egwene. That's about it. Yeah. So.
Well,
Oh boy! Thank you, Nerporio, for the gifted membership. Gadfly is now a Dragon Sworn. Sweet. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's move on here. I may need to step away for another minute here. Easton's got a little toothache, so might get some salt water in there. But I think we're good for a few minutes anyway. So Wheel of Time 8. We got to move through these. We're gonna be here till next Christmas, till season 3 comes out. Oh my God! So 2 years from now, Wheel of Time season 2 will introduce some of the best new characters. Which new characters are those? The show's story that should make season 2 more exciting. The daughter heir to the throne of Andor, Elaine Trakand, will make her first appearance to season 2. The Aiel Maiden of the Spear, Avienda, will also make her first show appearance during season 2. Another character coming from season 2 is Elias, who's late, and and Dane. Who cares about Shiriam Sadai? I don't know why we keep making a big deal about Shiriam Sadai. Like, Shiriam sucks. Like, I don't know. Like, am I the only one that just doesn't give two fucks about Shiriam?
no.
I mean, she plays a role, and it's not a major role, and it's okay. She's there, and then she's gone because she's not a critical piece to the story at all. She instills maybe fear into the accepted and the novices, but that's pages of a massive tome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
She's an interesting character within the context of the 700 plus pages of the Great Hunt. She adds flavor to the tower, and that's wonderful within 700 pages, not within the context of the show. And the reason why is because it's representative of age. This still comes down to diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's an older woman, and I think we're going to see a lot of those types of casting. I'm going to stop talking because I could potentially say some things that could be misconstrued. But I really do think that part of this is Rosamund Pike forcing some of these changes for a lot of people that she respects, which are older actresses, which Hollywood doesn't want to cast anymore, which is a shame because these women are very talented and they can be amazing in so many roles, and Hollywood has kicked them into the curb.
Yep.
Now, does that mean they have that Wheel of Time needs to atone for that? No, but I think that's a separate conversation. This show is still about Rand, Matt, and Perrin. Except
Should be. It should be.
So,
yeah. Thank you for the gifted membership, Salty. Who was it? I can't. I'm Mahalan.
Yeah, the person that was formerly known as Ahmad.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, that's who that is.
There you go. At least okay. I
So
don't know.
Now he's toxic like the rest of us.
Is it
Like
Mahalaner? Is it Mahalaner?
Mahalaner, yeah.
And Benjamin, I don't know if you've seen the casting. She's now an old tree-hugging, gray-haired woman. So sorry, she's not a hot redhead anymore.
Literally
never
tree
gets old.
hugging.
Literally.
Tree hugging.
She's literally a tree-hugging, gray-haired woman. So
it's like you're waiting for a bus in Seattle and there's some crazy old homeless woman talking to herself, hugging trees. That's what the video's like. It's amazing.
Season 2 will have more Aiel. What do you mean more? There were like
There was a dead Aiel. I mean, that was it.
And
Dead
pregnant
doll.
Aiel.
Yeah. And what other one did we have, Nathan? Remember? It was like the Matrix. Remember that one?
Yeah. The super pregnant.
Oh God, shit!
Yeah.
Sorry, I blocked out the blood snow. My bad. What a fucking shit! The blood snow. Sorry, go ahead.
That hyper realistic scene that just was the epic scene of the whole series. So
Well,
far.
the best part was when she held her hand up and stopped all the bullets from flying in midair. That was the best from that
I'm
episode.
trying to see if
Yeah.
I can find
God.
the intro video for Shiriam for Benjamin here.
Oh.
Where did that? Where
Season one
was
had-
that? Where did we get that? That was from. Was that from Dragon Con?
Benjamin
Yeah.
Rito.
Jordan
show
Con?
is-
Is it?
Yeah. Benjamin Rito says this show is effing dead to me. Oh, I know. I refuse to watch this after I only watched one episode once when I did my season 1 reviews. I recorded them while I watched them and I would pause the show because I didn't want to re-experiencing it at all.
There it
And
is.
then
I got it.
edit the video.
I got it. I got it. I got it.
You're in for a real
All right,
treat.
here we go.
with
You
this
ready? Here
casting.
it is. This is the
Real
best
treat.
video ever made. Straight from Jordan Con. Hold on. Let me bring up my. Let's get this going. We're gonna remove that. We're gonna. All right. And I don't know if I'll have the sound just because I don't want to get. Should I try it? I'll try the sound. We'll see if I can get away with a little bit of the sound. All right, here we go.
And welcome to all 24 people in chat. Thank you for being
Thank you.
here.
Oh, thank you. We're 24. Thank you. All right, Benjamin, this one's for you, buddy.
Oh, God,
All right, here we go. Can you hear it?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
When I auditioned for Wheel of Time, they had a false name for the show.
They still have a
And
false
false
name for the show.
The script was elevated and magical, but I still didn't know what show I was going
What
to
show I
be.
was going to be in?
Yeah, they
All right,
don't know
so
what
that-
they're making either.
So that's
Look at this.
Shiriam.
So did she make this video or did Amazon make this? Who made this video?
Benjamin.
If Rafe Judkins made this, this is the best thing he's ever produced, especially considering Uncharted. I think this video is why he got God of War. This is a huge step up from season
That's
1. of Wheel of Time.
Kratos. It's Kratos. Oh my
Yeah, but
God. All right.
I do have a serious question here. If you're reading for, is it that common to sit there and read for a part where you don't know what the show is? I know the character can sometimes be hidden.
When
But-
you're
I have no idea.
kind of a nobody, that can happen.
No, we're not trolling you. Did you? I'll back it up. I'll back it up to where it says that's what. Here's the little tag. It says who's there. There it is, right at the bottom. Okay, it's right there, in whatever color font that is. Yep, not trolling you. So let's get back to the meat of the
Rim job,
story here.
Tiana.
All right, here we go. We ready? Elevated and magical. Here we go. She's gonna run. Oh, here it
When I got
comes.
the role,
Here it comes. Here
I
it
found
comes.
out.
Treebeard,
I
run!
was shocked but calm.
Run! Treebeard! She's
It
gonna.
felt surreal,
What? Ah! She's evil!
like I
Now
was
she's on a
floating.
bench.
Grandma is tripping balls again. She got into my peyote. Holy
She ate too much tree bark. If she ate too much tree bark, she's got to upset tum tums. Now she has to take a nap. All right, here we go.
It
Right, the
gets
best
worse.
part.
It gets
This
worse.
looks
The
like
best part. Hold on. You guys, how have you guys not seen this? Come on. Here
Somebody
we go.
call
This
the
is like a freaking
EMTs.
cartoon.
She's somebody get some Narcan. She's OD.
Not too much tree. All right, here we go. You guys have not seen this. All right, here we go.
That's why I said
Go
bring it
on.
up, man.
Your Instagram is probably fucked up.
I love being in Wheel of Time. It's so easy to become immersed in Shiriam. And thoughts and moves and tactics, shifting intensities. And I look forward to fans experiencing the dynamics between Shiriam and novices, and Shiriam and Aes Sedai.
All right, we got to pause it just real quick. I know you're waiting with bated breath. What is she gonna do to that tree? Is she? Just okay.
gonna
No,
peg
you're
it.
Staple
not
bows.
in the world of dreams. I can't believe
Peg
you
it
guys
to
have
make
not seen
maple
this.
syrup.
Stable Bow, I'm still laughing, and I've seen this a couple times, but I'm really glad Steve brought it up because you're going to understand
God.
the kind of flavor of the type of people they want to be part of this show. Going forward.
Hey, Lady B, what's up? All
Hey,
right,
Lady
here we
B.
go. Here we go. The fantastic conclusion. Here it comes.
enjoy series 2.
Leave that tree alone.
Hey,
And then-
Shiriam, leave
and then-
trees alone.
And then scene. It's a weed.
Oh no, it's just
Well,
another bark in the tree.
because they
Sorry.
didn't want to have the Me Too thing for the trees that she just did.
Oh. So there you go,
Hey,
Benjamin.
Ice and I, leave those trees alone.
Oh, very well done. Very well done, Emporio. That's good.
So
Seriously.
yeah, I can't believe y'all had. So you're welcome for that. That's Shiriam.
Evil
She is,
Horned Rat God asks, why is she molesting trees? Well,
I mean, it's a disease. It's a disease like any other. I mean,
well,
you can take the
I don't know.
feeling,
You're tree shaming her. I'm sure there's a condition for this now in the 3,000 genders where this is normalized and should be taught to kindergartners in school as normal, because
Look.
that's the world we live in.
It's called treatophilia.
It's one of the my favorite part, besides for just being hilarious all the way through, is how they thought it would be such a cinematic exit to zoom in on that weed growing out of the sidewalk. So yeah.
I love the cut to her just laying on the bench. I'm like, what is this? A freaking cartoon? Like, it looked like it just looks so freaking terrible.
I don't think
I gotta
Freeman
drink
gave
to that.
consent. No, I think he's been totally taken advantage of.
Oh come on, the emasculation is underway, and
Hmm.
Treebeard is not is not an exception.
Benjamin Reno says this show, and this is a fascinating concept. Not for this stream, but I do think by the time we're done with season 2, Benjamin Reno says this show is being purposely ruined. It
Yeah.
has to be. Don't underestimate the stupidity of Hollywood executives and the
They don't-
people who enable those negligent executives.
They don't
underestimate
care.
that.
They don't care. It's corporate. All that corporate stuff. All they care about is quantity and efficiency. Quality.
in those
throw quality out the freaking window.
And those executives get their bonuses not by how profitable their business is, not by how well the shows do, and this is documented, but by how well they hit the ESG and corporate equity index scores.
I got a
Why
question.
we're getting this shit.
I got a question. Like New Trek, does Wheel of Prime have like 150 to 100 producers, executive producers?
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. I don't know, but I'm sure it does. Run by committee, right? I mean, we could look real quick if you wanted, but I would almost at least probably 10, 15.
Here's the thing. They like to screw around with IMDb, especially since a lot of us found out what they were doing for the Rings of Power before the show came out. So I think they learned their lessons. So there's little things that are popping out, and some of it is popping out through friendly shill media sites that isn't on IMDb yet. I just want to say that I would not anticipate us finding out the extent of the woke devastation, for the lack of a better word, as far as producers and writers until the episodes are dropped. If they've learned anything, they'll do that. So
All right. So I don't think we need to hang with the more Aiel part. That's just stupid. But okay, moving on. Wheel of Time Season 2 introduces the Shan Chan, who murder little girls on beaches.
which is fine. It's fine. They're supposed to be in the Great Hunt, but they're not supposed to do. It's just
Yeah, at least this one's sort of actually close to a reason why the season should be better, because the Shan Chan should be interesting and deep and not shooting goo out of their stomachs. But
what does that mean, dude? Like briefly, what does that mean?
what does that
What are
mean?
those stomachs? Yeah.
Do you, Nathan?
Just-
you want to take? You remember
Gimme-
what shooting goo out of their stomachs means?
Just
Yeah.
give me the
Yeah.
8-second explanation.
I gotta. Okay, do I gotta find another video? Okay, hold
No,
on. Let me
actually,
see
you
if
know
I can
what?
find it.
Yes, find that video because.
Oh
it is
my gosh.
hilarious.
Okay.
Sorry, chat. Blame me.
No,
Go ahead.
I thought this was
explain, Nathan.
easy. That'd be easy.
it is their little low res rendering of that
Oh, that bullshit! I remember
Yeah.
that.
goo from their stomachs.
Okay,
And
now I remember that.
They were
Okay,
shooting
yeah,
goo
never
out of
mind.
their stomachs.
Never mind.
Oh, you
Yeah.
got it. Okay. because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find. It's in an old video, but yeah,
man.
I don't know.
I remember that now. That
Okay.
was like 2 years ago, guys.
Yeah, it was.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, see, and that's funny. I mean, like you mentioned, I mean, season 1 was almost 2 years ago. They're almost done filming season 3, right? So, how long is it going to be before we get season 3?
I think
joke.
what's going to happen is because Rafe Judkins, it's been rumored he's going to walk away after season 3 because he wants to focus on his movie career, that I think they know this shit's done after season 3. And I think that's why they're just going to drop 2. They'll probably drop 3 the next year, and then they'll pretend this didn't happen. That's what I think's going to happen.
And they'll make like half of Disney's stuff and drop it from their
the good news is
like Willow.
This cost like 1/10 of what the Rings of Power did and probably had the same completion rate. So this was actually a value compared to the Rings of Power, you know?
Yeah, but still pathetic.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that would be a deep dive for me to have to find that again. So that one's as close of a right answer as yes, the Sean Tanner in it. Yay. Josie Wales is here. Look at that.
Yeah, I said hello.
Awesome. Let's see here. Wheel of Time season 2 book departures make it more unpredictable. Don't worry, everybody. Your Wheel of Time show isn't Wheel of Time, but that's a good thing.
Chat, what are your best comments for this? Now, there's a lag between when we see them, but I've already said my piece. Nathan, Steve did the third tutorial. What do you think about this now that you've read the books? How much do you love when something says it's not an adaptation, but it's actually not an adaptation?
Well, I hate. I mean, it's so common now with shows. I hate the blatant disregard for what came before. I mean, and I kind of ranted about this when you showed me the first episode. Watch that video. I might have had too much to drink that night, but
You're a myth.
but they fundamentally disregard all the important points in the books, in my opinion. All the great stuff that could have been imagine if Lord of the Rings movies, Peter Jackson didn't incorporate the Battle of Helm's Deep or the Battle of Pelennor Fields or the Weathertop incident where Frodo gets stabbed or Gandalf falling in the pit of Khazad-dûm, or all that stuff. Can you imagine them not that? That's the degree of what is being disregarded in Robert Jordan's book, and then Utrecht's doing the same shit with Strange New Worlds, disregarding what was already established in the original series. I hate that shit. Back in the 90s and 2000s, writers and television producers tried to be as consistent as possible with other shows, and now we're getting the total opposite. That's why when something new is announced, I am not fucking excited. No. I'm underwhelmed. I feel like I've been beat down. You know what? But there's still the old shit to listen to. There's always there's books to read. There's a lot of shit out there to discover and not support new shit like this.
Can I get an amen in chat for Brother Nerdporial? Because that was preaching. Sorry, Nathan. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Yeah, how many of us as fans were looking forward to seeing Baerlon and looking forward to watching Moiraine visually grow as she steps over the gate in the escape from Baerlon? How many of us were looking forward to a proper adaptation of Shadar Logoth? How many of us really were looking forward to seeing Rand fall ass backwards off of a castle wall into a garden to meet a hot-looking redhead?
Important scenes to me reading that book for the first time was the innocence of Rand, and then of course just what is going to happen to him. Is he going to get in trouble? Is he going to get in trouble? And he runs into this beautiful, that whole scene. But again, that's character development. I'm going to stop because I'm going to start breaking shit like that.
So let's talk about the actual Eye of the World and the whole traveling to that, and the whole chase scene with all of the evil that was following them. That sometimes we didn't see them on the pages, and some we did. And then all of a sudden, you ran into the Green Man because of the need that Rand took with him which is why he discovered they discovered it. We were looking forward to all of that, and we got none of it. We didn't even get 2 of the Forsaken. All we got was Ishii, you know, and
Ishii, yeah.
Yeah, not yeah. You know, so I mean,
and the other part about Barrelon is, who do we meet in Barrelon? A character that I thought was freaking amazing by the name of Min.
Yeah.
mhm.
That whole scene where you don't know what she's about, and the fact that she can sometimes see what's going to happen to someone in the future, and it's just, it is so well written, and the character evolves. Robert Jordan, he evolves it, and you're like, I want to know more about Min. What's going to happen? Instead, we get burned out, you know, barfly, bisexual, Portlandia Min in the show.
Yeah.
That's what we get.
Great way to describe her.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
Okay.
remember that in talking about that whole first season with OBG70, and his ideal chick that he had for Min was the one girl from the first season of The Witcher that fought Henry Cavill's character in the first episode, and I was like, you know what, totally buy that.
She's actually got another show, and I'm not going to derail things, but that's where Barney Harris ended up. We talked about it on another live stream, but if you remember in first season 1, I forget the character's name, and yes, I've read all the Witcher books, they're behind me, but it's where Henry Cavill fights the princess who was abducted because they thought all the princesses born under a sign were going to turn evil and everything. But that actress who Henry Cavill doesn't want to kill in season 1, she's in another show, and it's actually about witchcraft and fantasy, and that's where Barney Harris landed after whatever it was. I know Steve thinks it was drugs, probably was, but yeah, that'll be interesting. It's on Welsh TV, so it doesn't have a title yet, but I didn't anticipate us getting that sometime around December. So should be perfect, Min.
I think that the funny thing is this line: the silver lining around Wheel of Time's many book departures, the show is now more unpredictable. Well, we all know that that's what made Game of Thrones season 8 better, right? Was that they didn't have anything to go with, so it was more unpredictable. Everything for Game of Thrones that wasn't book orientated was unpredictable, so it was better, right? Even though everybody hated everything they did with it, right? So this whole bullshit about, oh, we've taken book departures, but it's okay because now you don't know what's going to happen, so that's better. No, I would rather just like to anticipate the good scenes that I want to see and see how you decided to do those good scenes.
Well,
I don't want it unpredictable.
That's one of the things this article runs with a couple times is this whole idea of, because it's different, that makes it good. Not, is it written well and does it make sense? Is it a cohesive thing? If it's none of that, then whatever the changes are inherently going to be a milestone of hot garbage. There's nothing that can make that good.
And when you keep building and tearing down a solid foundation to insert agenda, forced diversity, substandard writing, look what happens. Witcher season 2, Witcher Blood Origin, Willow, The Rings of Power. The list goes on and on and on. And now we're getting Witcher season 3. And you know what? They're like, hold my beer season 2 and Blood Origin. Now we're going to take Jasker, a ladies' man, totally about the ladies, and now he's going to be gay.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but yeah.
Well, there's not, but Jasker's not gay, you know? And it's like, it's the same thing with this show. We're waiting for the next shoe to drop. Is it exciting to watch something you love be desecrated by cretins who are there like a mostly peaceful protest to steal all the shit out of Bloomingdale's as reparations? Because that's what it feels like with this show. You know, Rosamund Pike is getting her due for not being the superstar she should have been in Hollywood. So now, by God, she's going to be the superstar of this show.
Yeah, and to go off of that Jasker thing, well, his name in the books is Dandelion, and you know they changed his name because they thought that sounded kind of ridiculous to an American audience. Well, they did the same thing with Wheel of Time. They took away the use of the language that was there in the Wheel of Time, because they didn't want it to sound ridiculous. What the men have to deal with when they're channeling is called the taint, and they took that away because these writers and producers are childish, not sitting there thinking that the audience can't put something in the context of the show and acting like a child thinking, he said the taint. Grow up.
Well, Rafe Judkins is all about the taint. And hail and welcome again to the new people who've joined. We have 27 people watching. Please, Steve works really hard. Everybody on this panel works really hard. This is something that's near and dear to my heart, and everybody's here, but especially Steve. Please hit that thumbs up for our man, Prophet Oded Dragon.
Thank you.
But real quick to kind of finish on that point, though, it's like all of these little changes that you make that seem like they would be inconsequential, they matter. So changing Dandelion to Jasker, or changing the language to something else that's, like Matt saying that, I'll piss in your mouth and say it's raining type of stuff. It takes away from the immersion and puts you into a modern world rather than an escapist world, which is where you wanted to go in the first place.
Well, the first thing I heard about the show in one of the very earliest videos I did on my channel was Rafe Judkins talking about how he was aging up the characters to make it more relatable and modern. Now, this was 9 months before the show came out, and I ran with that on my channel. I don't think I had 100 subscribers. And it was there when I first started going, and I've said this many times in many videos, those small changes are fractal over time, and you could see it in the story writing. The reason why they aged these characters up was because the writers wrote for young adult CW bullshit feelings and hallway shows. What did we get? We got feelings and hallway shows with diversity representation and LGBTQ plus stuff in the forefront, and Robert Jordan's story nowhere to be seen.
Yep.
Well, but that's a good thing. Those who have read the books may feel that it lacks loyalty to the source material. Yeah. And how, right? But if one embraces the changes, nope, not going to embrace those fucking changes. Going into the Wheel of Time season 2, it can be watched as a complement to the books instead of a straightforward adaptation. Yeah, so bullshit. Watching a series after reading the books can end up being boring. What? Fuck off. Can end up being boring when one knows what's about to happen. However, with changes being made to the wheel, it's like who has ever said that? It adds suspense. Who has said that ever? That, oh, you know what? They're adapting my favorite thing. If they adapt it like I liked it, it's gonna be boring.
I remember before The Empire Strikes Back came out a million years ago, they released the paperback. I think it was by Alan Dean Foster. And I remember reading that paperback and being totally shocked, of course, about Darth Vader being Luke Skywalker's father. In no way did it diminish my enjoyment of going to see Empire Strikes Back as a kid, knowing the story, because the people who made the movie were talented and creative and cherished the story they were given, so that whatever I read, whatever was on screen, was so much better than in the book. In this case, go ahead.
Did the book reveal that? Because I mean, like, that was like that was a really big secret. Like, you know how, like, remember I told you about the alien, because Alan Dean Foster wrote the Alien novelization too. Yeah. He could not describe the alien because the look of the alien was so kept under wraps.
Yeah.
So I thought that was the same for Darth Vader and Luke. Like they would. You figured the book would say. I mean to derail the stream, but the book would say Obi-Wan killed your father instead of, which was the original, was what was in the script.
No, it was, I remember it was a light blue Empire Strikes Back. Like, it had the classic Empire Strikes Back movie poster on it. But I remember reading that, and I had a babysitter at that time. She was really hot, because I think I was like 10 or 11, who took us to the movie theater. And I was telling her I was that annoying asshole kid who was like, Darth Vader's Luke Skywalker's father, because, I'm an idiot. But that's the thing. And of course, the obvious examples to that would be Lord of the Rings.
Can we get a decent amount? I wish of something, Lady B, of something. It would be nice.
I think we have to wait like at least another 2 decades for something like that.
Yep, probably. So isn't this exactly the same as, what was it, number 4 or number, what is it, this one? Introduce some. No. So no. Well, I guess it was mentioned in one of the paragraphs. But Wheel of Time's cast interviews more character development. I swear to God, there was something already in one of these about character development.
It was lore setup. I think it was talking about it doesn't need to. It'll let the characters be the characters, and there's no need to explain who these people are, what the motivations are, because they didn't do it in season 1.
So this okay. So some of them promise greater character development for the respective roles. This is notable after the complaints about underdeveloped characters following the Wheel of Time season 1. One character who's an actor who's promised further development is Land Mandragoran. I always screw that up. Warder to Moiraine, of course, because Moraine's going to have 50% of the airtime.
And that's the love triangle. That's the love triangle with Moiraine and Nynaeve.
Moreover, the actor playing Liandrin, thank God, has promised that Wheel of Time Season 2 will further explore Liandrin's dark side. This is important to fix Wheel of Time, as based on these interviews, it seems that the writers are taking character development seriously.
Not Robert Jordan's. Just not Robert Jordan's. Amanda Schumann's. Rafe Judkins, but like not I said, stories.
Like I said, I am so looking forward to getting to delve into Liandrin's fucking dark side. It's like, who gives a shit about Liandrin's dark side? Liandrin is a means to an end, and then you get this, and that's it, right? That's all she does. Lan, honestly, I think Lan was overdeveloped in season 1.
He was.
It should have been more him standing around, staring at people meanly or stoically, and making grunts, and then chopping things heads off. That's what Lan should have been doing, and then giving epic one-liners like Arnold Schwarzenegger, face it on your feet, you pussy, or stand the fuck up and fight, or something. Like Lan should have been giving out one-liners like fucking crazy. That's what Lan's job should have been in season 1. Was
how about I lied?
Yeah, why not? I don't care. I lied, and then cuts the head off. Whatever, yeah. Right? That should have been Lan's. We got too much development from Lan, in my opinion, and too much freaking emotion. Period.
I got to call this out because it's hilarious. Benjamin Rena's jumping off. He says, "Gotta go, guys. Much love. Keep on. Cheers. I'll catch the rest later. I'm about to have not adequate sex."
You go.
There it is.
That's what I like to hear.
Beautiful.
Let's get it on.
All right. Not
Liandrin. You guys remember what they did in season 1 to Liandrin? I mean, obviously the whole bullshit, Red Aja chasing the guys down on horseback because strong independent women, which is really not a very good interpretation from the books. But what happened with the Red Aja Liandrin in this show's Rosamund Pike? They call her Moiraine. Suddenly Liandrin is trying to seduce Rosamund Pike. Now, the problem with that is the Reds, Aja, hate the Blue Aja. Not a little bit. This is like 300 years or 3,000 years of animosity between these two groups. So then you find out Liandrin wants to have sex with Rosamund Pike, and then Rosamund Pike has a secret because apparently Liandrin likes dick too and has some dude at the wharf. This is all made up bullshit. That was character building for Liandrin based on what Amanda Schumann and Rafe Judkins said, had nothing to do with what her actual role was in the story. So we're going to get more of that? We're going to get more of her trying to sleep with other Ajas that hate her?
Well, and it's more of a condemnation, too, of the land show character. Because if that had happened in the books, don't you think that Lan would have been stepping up in between the both of them? I think so. With how much they don't hate that nonsense. They hate each other.
Well, they should have been coming. I mean, you're right. They hate each other. That's all there is to it. There should have been barely a discussion between the two. That's they should, the Reds hate everybody basically, but Blues the most. So like, there should have just been a nothing. It should have been a nothing scene at all. They shouldn't have even a scene together unless it's passing in the hallway. Moiraine's to die, Leandra's to die, and move on. I don't give a fuck about Leandra's past, and if it's about like her Black Aja shit, fine, that's different. But like, I guess it's different, but I don't need to delve into why she became Black Aja. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Sympathetic backstories.
Yeah, there you go. Wheel of Time Season 2 can introduce more Forsaken.
You didn't introduce
Wheel of
any
Time. Season 1 could have introduced more
book.
Forsaken. They chose not to.
You missed out on all of the opportunity to build the tension with the dreams and have it be but if in order to do that, you'd have to have it be about the boys and Rand in particular. In one dream, which just freaked me out with like stairways and all this other stuff and fire, this could have, that's what we wanted, and instead we got Perrin's flashback to his dead not wife having her entrails ripped out by a glowing-eyed dog and some dude with a hockey mask and glowing eyes. That's what we got. And then we got the used BMW car salesman Ishmael guy. So
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the car salesman. Well, the dark one. Like they didn't even, he's the dark one. So, oh god, the most confusing. Yeah. He made Rand sad to death. That's why he, be sad. I mean, it's what a fucking shitty scene. But yeah, so I'd argue we didn't have one Forsaken in season 1, to be honest. But so we already know, Lanfear is going to be in it, right? I love how they just totally spoiled it. This part right here for anybody that hasn't read forward. So there you go, Nerporeal. Sorry about that, but your thoughts have been confirmed in this article that just spoils the books for people, and there you go. So we'll move on in case you didn't see it because I didn't say it out loud.
Well, we're not going to be in Camelin anyway, so how the hell is any of that going to make sense?
Exactly. So that's not going to happen. So that's more bullshit that they're guessing. They're not going to Camelin, so any of that bullshit's not going to happen.
Look at Trip.
Yeah, I saw
blowing
that too.
my mind a little bit.
Moiraine's sister will be Leandrin's lover. What about her brother?
How about both of them at the same time?
Oh, why not?
That seems very 2023 Disney,
Ethan?
but Yeah, I mean it's crazy because and I've said this on other streams, but no matter what we all come up with, I think we're biased because we actually know and love the source material. So we can't go to the depths of absolute depravity and idiocy that I think the writers are going to go to because they don't love this source material and they're going to go back to what they know, which is writing for Chuck and whatever other abominations, and I covered it in one of my live streams, what these writers have done. They're going to go back to the 100. They're going to go back to those things, and none of it is going to have anything to do with any of the lore, the character development present within any of the books. It's just going to be, how can I take these names with these people to fit to do the lazy tropes that I know how to do and make sure that they're diverse and gay at the same time. That's going to be it.
Well, I mean, don't worry. They can fix the reveal of the Dragon Reborn. How? Like what? How? Like the cat? Like how do you fix that? First of all, like I don't understand how you think you can fix it.
You can't. Like, Nathan nailed it. I mean, he said it was a garbage heap on another garbage heap in my video, and it's true. You have blown this. This was a first date, and you are completely not getting a second date. And I think they know that, and they're pretending like she likes me. She gave me her phone number, not understanding that phone number is probably for like Alcoholics Anonymous or something like that to get help. And the show is in denial, just like the Rings of Power, just like The Witcher, just like the Star Trek franchises. All of them, they're in the same place because if they admit to what we're saying, then that means that we were right. It doesn't matter nobody's watching this shit. It doesn't matter nobody's watching any of these episodes. They have got to keep lying and pretending that it works because this is all that they know how to do. And that is the greatest tragedy in all of this. And that's why there's nothing new coming out to watch.
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
Salty rant. I was trying to cover for Steve.
Amen.
Oh, well, I mean, and that's, there's nothing new. The best hope that we have in terms of high fantasy type of stuff, it would be in animation zones because that is probably the best way to cover it. And we thought we might have been getting that with Ride of the Rohirrim. We're not going to, more than likely. So, I mean, the only thing that we can go to is we can go back to the stuff that we got in the past or go to the books that we have, and just revel in the fact that we did have some good storytelling in the past.
I agree. I mean, and that's the thing is I've been buying a lot of stuff off thrift books and a lot of stuff that I haven't read since like the mid 80s when I was like in middle school or grade school or just starting high school. And my God, it's so good. It's just good. And I'll remember a little bit here and there, but I was looking at what we got in and I totally lost my train of thought. Damn it. Oh, do you guys remember in season 1, it was so bad and the show was rejected in real time so much. People didn't know what the hell was going on. Why is any of this happening? Amazon promised that there would be animated shorts to explain things like the Dragon Reborn and like the Aes Sedai. Did we ever get those?
Yeah. They're actually on Prime, but they didn't promote them at all. They didn't really put them forward at all.
They're on their little,
they were actually more accurate to the books, but they would sit there and do the show, and they would contradict each other.
Yep. So those little animated shorts are on the little X-ray thing, and actually some of them are okay. Some of them are better than others, but they're a lot closer to the actual books than the show is by a long, wide margin.
Well, as I recall, one of them explained the magic system and talked about it in 2 parts.
Yep. Yeah. Sedina and Sidar. Dave Z, dude, I'm looking forward to Dune 2 as well. There's also a film that Disney tried to kill about child trafficking with Jim Cassavetes, I believe, or Jim Caviezel. Caviezel. I want to support that film.
I heard about that.
So
I heard about that.
I don't know that I can. I don't know.
I don't know if I can watch the whole thing, and if it gets too much, I'm going to walk out because when you start messing around with younglings, I become not rational anymore.
I get very angry with that shit.
It's very upsetting.
As anyone should.
Yeah, I won't be watching that, but I like John. But
I applaud the effort to reveal the truth 100%, and there will be a lot of people that go out and see that and will call it out as a good work, as a good effort, and I'm thankful for that. I can't do that. I can't go to those depths myself. It just tears me up too much.
But real quick, so one of the biggest complaints of Wheel of Time Season 2 was the ultimate reveal. Obviously, it sucked. Most critics point out that his character being underdeveloped, once again, more underdeveloped characters throughout the season. Yeah, right. The season and excess of red herrings. Yeah, that because the Who's the Dragon Reborn stuff, like we all said, was a good idea, right? No, of course it wasn't a good idea. You freaking muppet. Foreshadowing the main culprits as an underwhelming reveal. Well, no shit. You should have just done it like it was in the book. The Wheel of Time Season 2 can fix this by layering Rand and making him into more of an engaging leading role. He is the main hero of the series. You could have fooled fucking me. He's definitely so the Wheel of Time Season 2 needs to make him more gripping and ensure the audience care about him. So isn't that a just resounding just shot right at the show that the main character is not cared about and that he was underdeveloped and that he's not engaging?
Well, the main character is Rosamund Pike, so I don't know what they're talking about.
Or Egwene, sorry, one or the other. Probably both. They'll hold hands at the end. And
you know who got more character development than Rand, Matt, and Perrin? Steppen.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, Steppen got the most character development. Jesus, another character that doesn't exist. But there's too many characters, so we're just gonna. But we can make up characters and inject our own bullshit. But there's too many characters. We can't get them all in there, right? So. Oh boy. And here's the last one. The Wheel of Time Season 2 can flesh out the One Power. It's a little late, isn't it? Shouldn't the One Power have been fleshed out already? I I don't know. Like, they've already ruined it. The one thing that the Wheel of Time Season 2 needs to do better is explanation of the One Power. The One Power is what allows people to channel, and through key elements of nature, the One Power is explained in the Wheel of Time Season 2. There's much about the rules of channeling that need to be fleshed out for fans. The Wheel of Time has already made some departures from the rules of the One Power, and yeah, no shit. Notably, the linking... Wait, what? Yeah, that's right. It's like, of all things, notably, linking in a circle is supposed to prevent burning out, but it happens anyways in the Wheel of Time Season 1 finale. So, changes to the rules for this adaptation are fine. No, they're not, but they need to explain it. The Wheel of Time Season 2 is will likely do this by showing Nynaeve, Elaine, and Egwene's training at the White Tower. This is the perfect opportunity for Season 2 to sufficiently explain the rules of channeling and the nature of the One Power. Yeah, because fuck the male half of the power, right?
So, did they ever address, like, did they ever say, like, if a male uses the One Power that he will go insane? Has that ever been mentioned in the show?
No, they just say it's dirty.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do.
That's with the Leandrin stuff when they're chasing him down like it's a scene from Planet of the Apes, the Red Eye on horseback.
Well,
dude, tell me I'm wrong. Go back and watch that.
Did they throw nets on the guy?
Dude, I was waiting for it. You know what I mean? To be running through the corn stalks with the gorillas after him.
And on the horseback with the nets and all that.
But think about that, though. I mean, if they actually tried to flesh out why men would make it dirty, it would absolutely make their entire premise of their show crumble. Because you cannot sit there and say that men make it dirty because they use it just because they're men. You would have to have a legitimate reason why it would do something like that. And the only way to do that is to have a binary magic system.
Well, and they're not going to contradict Rosamund Pike's painfully hating men monologue that opened up season 1, where it's all men's fault. Men are evil, men are stupid, men are bad. They of course skipped over the part where there was a man who was so good and so much stronger than the cowardly other female channelers that did something heroic and then was tricked by someone. I gotta stop talking because I'm gonna fuck this up or screw this up for Nerporial. But they conveniently leave out the fact that the male side was tainted by an evil person because the really good men were saving the world. They're never gonna come back from that, Nathan. They're never gonna walk that back.
No, yeah. And I think Nerporial should know about the 100 Companions at this point. I think he should, but
they mention it in the prologue, if I remember.
There's still people that try to say that the 100 Companions were wrong, and I still don't understand that. I still don't understand that, and I still don't understand how you. It's like, okay, well, doing nothing was better. Like, I don't understand how not trying to seal the Dark One away is the better. The Dark One's getting out. Let's just let him get out. Like, I've never understood why that was the wrong thing to be trying to do. And, it could honestly, I mean, again, people like to argue it, but you can lay it at the women's feet. There's two schools of thought. If the women went, their side would be tainted too, or if the women went, it would have been sealed better and there would have been no taint. So it just depends on what side you want to stand on. Yes, I guess that's a discussion that you can have that really there's no real answer to, but you would think since you can make a link exponentially bigger with two different sides of the power, that they could have probably sealed him away better, logically. If there were females present. Now I don't remember. Now, to be honest, yeah, it was the 100 Companions were all male, right? I think that it has to be the case. Otherwise, Sadar would have been tainted as well, I would think. But I don't know.
Staple Bow's comment. I mean, it echoes what you were saying, Steve. Sorry, Nathan. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh no, you're fine. But they really don't want to address or won't address is, how did the Dark One get out in the first place? Who started the boar?
Oh yeah.
They don't want to touch on that. And I don't know if that's a major spoiler or not, so I don't want to get into it.
Because she drilled the boar because of a mean man told her to, right? Instead of her lust for power. Right? Is that what?
But she isn't to blame. She
it's not her
isn't to
fault.
blame.
Yeah.
She isn't to blame.
So yeah, that's why we should be excited about season 2, guys and gals. Man, it's just the double talk and the self owns and the everything's underdeveloped, but now they can develop it. Rand's reveal was shit, but now they can fix it. It's, the Jack in the Box is out, but it's okay. You can still be scared by it, right? I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's a very weird article because they're like, oh, well, this was shit, but they can fix it. This was also shit, but they can fix it. This too was also shit, but they can fix that too. It's crazy to me. But what do you got here?
I'm gonna keep showing this.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Every chance we get, because when you have the Amazon Wheel of Time showrunner's lore expert, which if I'm not mistaken, is the book nerd at the bottom, saying what she does openly on Twitter, understand the magnitude of how, I don't know what a right word, wrong is completely inadequate, mutilated, destroyed, incoherent. Yeah, the lore expert even says season 1 had its challenges, but season 2 fans must gird the loins big time for book to show adaptations.
Mm-hmm. So let me rephrase that to proper descriptions of what she's saying. Season 1 sucked. So just a warning to you, season 2 is going to suck worse. However, aside from that, it's really an excellent season on television.
Yeah, all I see there is season 1 was horrible. We really didn't know what the fuck we were doing. We went out on our own, and well, it didn't work out so well. We're doubling down now, and we're going even further astray. We decided we can't adapt this at all. We're just going to do our own fucking thing.
That's it.
So get ready. You're not going to recognize anything from the Wheel of Time in this show. But get ready. It's still good though. It's still good. You'll like it.
You know what's funny is you would think book and nerd are nouns, just typical nouns, but I think they're pronouns, and I think that's what this person identifies.
She identifies as a book,
because
and
that
a nerd,
makes
maybe.
no sense.
It doesn't, right?
This is something. It's people like this, friends, that you do not take seriously. You do not take their conversation seriously. You don't get into arguments with them. And you don't suffer them. They're fools.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I mean, here's the thing. It's not an adaptation. Season 1 was barely qualified if you are blind and deaf and watch the show. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Sorry. Oh, Nathan, why'd you have to do that?
You're savage.
America's dad. Come on. Oh,
yeah, right.
I mean, season 1 was terrible, but season 2 absolutely bears no resemblance to anything the characters did at all. Like, they're not pretending. That's what she's saying, as Nerdporial said it. They're not even pretending anymore. But even though it says Wheel of Time, and even though they've yelled at all of us and screamed at all of us for saying it's not an adaptation, it's still a really good season of television. How is that possible, guys? How is it possible that it can be this amazing season of television when all on its own, if you never watched or never read The Wheel of Time and you saw season 1, nobody completed that either. And again, I think the completion rates were the same as The Rings of Power, so that only 37% of the people who watched it or less actually watched all eight episodes of the abomination that was season 1. So how do you hold these two things together? We told you it's an adaptation. We tricked you. Now we're not even going to try and pretend it's just a whole bunch of made up shit with names that we stole from a book.
Don't rechat, Nerdporial. Don't rechat. Don't rechat. Let's get some Fs. Fs in the chat. We need chat scroll. Craig, I love ya. Nerdporial hasn't read past Dragon Board. Scroll. We need some Fs. We need some F's. There we go.
Do I need to go away? Do I need to?
No. You're good.
find
You're
it?
good.
You're good.
There was something in there you definitely did not want to read. So, Craig, I agree. But Nerforio is not past Dragon Reborn. Hold on, one second.
Hail Lyle Hammock, he's here. He says he hopes hope everyone is well as I'm working late and pondering what's worse, this garbage show or having to entertain a bunch of corporate douchebags, which is what he's going to be doing tomorrow.
Oof.
I can't make that call. I can't make that call.
Oh boy. So I just, the thing that, and we'll wrap up here. We've been going over 2 hours here, but thank you guys. Thank you from in chat for being here, guys. You guys are amazing. You know, we've been hitting close to 30. Well, we've been getting to 30 people in these streams. You know, so we got to keep doing them, right? So we're having a lot of fun, and you know, making fun of this shit show. And so thank you for being here. I appreciate that. But before we take it, the last thing I just want to say is now, if you watch what they're now saying, everything has shifted. Okay, it's shifted again. They're now pretending. Still pretending. Okay, so this hasn't shifted. They're still pretending that it's okay, Craig. It's okay. It's no big deal. Because I agree with you with your comment 100%.
Yeah.
I agree with your comment, but just our boy here hasn't read it yet. So I agree with you. Please don't worry about it. Please don't. But things have shifted a little bit. They will still say that they are adapting these novels. Okay, they'll still throw that in there. They'll say, we're adapting this, we're adapting that. Season 3, we will be adapting The Shadow Rising. But then they also say that Cadsuane might be it. They also say that Moiraine's sister is going to be in it. They also say this, that, and the other. And then, on top of that, after they say they're adapting these things, they also will start laying out these things, saying, well, it doesn't follow the books very much, but that's okay. That's all right. It's still it's okay. There's enough of the books in there that you should still like it. It's unpredictable because we don't. It's good that we don't follow the books because that makes it unpredictable. It makes it keeps you guessing. It's okay that you don't recognize your characters because that means different stuff can happen to them from the books. So it's not predictable and you can be excited for the next steps for those characters. Whereas if you've read the books, you know what's going to happen. Rafe has gone and because he's elaborated more on this. This is Rafe fixing something that Robert Jordan didn't do right. So this is Rafe going back and fixing a failure of Robert Jordan. So now now they're putting themselves above Mr. Robert Jordan, the writer, creator, and seller of millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of novels that people have loved for years and years and years and years and years. Rafe Judkins, a hack that freaking lost on Survivor and must have gone down on the right person to get into Hollywood.
Yeah, and rode the ship down on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and rode the ship down on Chuck and everything.
All of that.
Yeah.
He ruined Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
He is a better writer than Robert Jordan. That's what these people are trying to say. That's how crazy these people have gotten. It is. I don't understand how these people call themselves book fans when the words, I think it was Alex that linked it in chat earlier in the stream. When the words come out of your mouth that this is something that Rafe has fixed from the original work, how do you call yourself a Wheel of Time fan when that comes out of your mouth? The two comments can't go together. I don't understand how you can, it just blows my mind.
Well,
did you call yourself a fan at that point? Sorry,
it's fixed in the connotation of giving a circumcision with a rusty, dull pair of garden scissors. That's pretty much Rafe Judkins' approach to this. There is nothing nuanced. There is no even medium-term planning. This person burned down a set that needed to be rebuilt again because apparently he didn't read the book. Because Emmons Field, he didn't know Emmons Field came back. Spoilers. I think it's really revealing again. The only still images that we have gotten from this show are from the same episode with the same characters in the same place. And then you got a few scenes of it looks like Martha Stewart Egwene, over there at what we guess is Tarvalon. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that.
It could be Shadow Logan, apparently.
It could be Shadow Logan. It could be Barrelon. She's probably cooking in Barrelon. But my point with all that is wait until we actually get a trailer, because if they still only show us those same images from that same appears to be the same episode or episode and a half, our heads are going to explode everywhere.
So real quick, just Jacob wanted to make his artistic rendition of the weed from the Shiriam video. So this is Jacob Ironside's fantastic artistic representation of the weed from the Shiriam Sadai introduction video. So I just had to throw that out there. I think he does a bang up job of making this weed look very, very eloquent. Very, very well done, sir. So I had to do that. I just thought it was funny. So, So, man, I don't know, man. It's one of those. They keep throwing stuff at us. There's still stuff to talk about. I mean,
wow. Hail to Craig Albuck, who's in chat. He says, "I'm finding myself listening to you guys in other real reactors than the Love Fest on other channels." Well,
Craig,
that's how we found each other.
It's like that with all the franchises. Even New Trek. New Trek has its fans somehow.
But
Disney
that's,
Star Wars.
That's to be commended, though. I mean, he's listening to both sides of the argument, and making his own determinations.
Yeah,
and
that's hard. I can't do that.
I have mad respect for that, because
I do. I have a lot of respect for it too, because
Trip goes out there and spies on the dusty wheel. I could tell that guy to take a flying leap off a short bridge, because I can't.
Never watched that person's content. There's a lot of people I don't watch because I don't. From what I've heard, why would I?
Well, Nate, you're right. Trip does it too. Foo, rock on. But Craig, it's one of those. I think I appreciate that very much, because we are called a lot of names just because we love this series and we want the series to look like it should. Okay, so we want the show to look like the books, and we're called a lot of names because we want that. Now, I hope that or can take from listening to us that we are passionate, but we are not evil people. We are not racist.
I'm the bad one here, because
we're not rage farmers.
We're not. I'm a bit of a rage farmer, but it's because I get mad about this bullshit that keeps getting sprouted. I'm not saying. Look, most of the women on the show are beautiful. Do I think they fit the roles that they should be in? I don't particularly think so. On some of them are better than others. There's nothing wrong with saying that. If they, so we get called a lot of names for calling stuff out. I appreciate you at least checking us out. Whether you agree with everything you have to say, that's cool. I don't expect to agree on everything. That's it. That's also it too. If you have an argument about something, I'm willing to hear it. Everybody here is willing to hear it. It doesn't mean we're going to agree, but we like hearing other opinions on stuff and having discussions. I just, it's better because and then just saying some nonsense. I just don't. I can't do it. Right.
We try to be as real as we can. Like we're not just singing praise just to look good, because it's a sign of falsehood. It's a sign of what does Holden Caulfield call them? Oh, phonies.
Yeah.
So Donald Finn, is it Flynn or Finn? It's a
Finn.
He is walking into a shit show. I wish he made. I don't know what he's done before. You're absolutely right. To be fair, we sort of go hard on all of them because I don't know why they like having all their mouths open when they're shooting them. But he has shit to work with, and I wish anybody that went into that role was doomed, because they've told where that should be a life. All of these should be life-changing roles for all of these people, for all of these actors and actresses. These should all be life-changing. And even if I agreed with what the casting for Egwene or Nynaeve or whatever, if they gave them the book material to act, they would be killing it. whether I agree with what they look like or not, they would still be killing it because it would be Robert Jordan's work and Robert Jordan's dialogue and the storyline from the books. So unfortunately, we don't have any of that. So they are suffering from that, and they think because we're calling out that they're not getting that stuff to act. The other things start becoming more prevalent. So it's like, okay, well, it doesn't sound like the books, and well, you know what? They don't look like they should be in the books either. It becomes another thing that's wrong with what they've done. So, but Donald Flynn is fucked. You're right.
It's also a different perspective being on the other side of season 1 and all of this. When I first started my channel, I one of the first videos I did, I talked about it, was talking about things that concerned me that I heard Rafe Judkins say months before anybody even knew what the hell Wheel of Time was. None of the big channels that I watched knew what the hell I was talking about with Robert Jordan and the Wheel of Time. None of them. Nope. So I struck out on my own. I started making videos, and that's how I met everybody here. I met everybody here because of that. Go take a look at all of our collective body of work if you're here for the first time, and understand what at the time was an absolute media barrage and an absolute coordinated attack against anyone who said anything vaguely critical of this show based upon what the show's creators said. And the same thing happened with the Rings of Power. And I don't know. It's just, I'm on the other side of this, and I'm 2 years removed when all this went down. It's hard to, all of what I've seen and all of what I've heard and all of what I watched here on YouTube and with Amazon and the media changing the story. It's a very different perspective to be a content creator and then try and be just an audience member, like someone who's trying to appreciate the show, just because of all of the things that I've seen. Doesn't make me better, doesn't make me worse. It just means that in my perspective, all the things that I've seen in making videos, and those videos are not rage click bullshit. I try and research them, that I've gotten to this place now where I look at season 2 and I'm like, we've seen all this before. We know the showrunner's MO. We know what the media is going to do. We know what's happening. And it's usually with those things, unfortunately, I'm right.
Lanfear reaction. I think better Leandrin. Definitely not the worst they've done. She hits a lot of the check marks, but I think she could have been better used somewhere else. She's no
young Sophia Loren. Just gonna say that.
She would have been probably a good Elida.
Yeah, I think Eladia is where we sort of landed. I think that would have been better.
Okay,
but...
Steve, I have to have a thing. Say Elida.
Eladia.
Okay. I keep saying Eladia.
I always say Eladia.
I'm like, do we need to have what do you call that thing where you sit down with a friend and tell them something's wrong? I forget what they call it.
It's a drinking game.
When I read it, that's just how I always read it in my head. So it's just like, Rayuden.
Yeah,
I did the same thing with Nynaeve.
I got that crap. I got crap too
I did the same thing with Nynaeve, and I'm going to own that. I said Nynaeve because that's how I read it in my head when the books came out in the 90s. And we didn't have the internet. And now I got people giving me shit like, oh, you didn't say Kerhian or Karan or whatever the hell. I'm sorry. I've been saying that in my head probably longer than you've been alive,
Yeah, I say everything wrong. So go ahead.
Yeah. But it's the same for me. Like I was especially Ocarina of Time video. Some people were like, "Oh, you pronounced these names wrong." Like, well, there was no guide to this. I had to read it. I had to figure out how to read it myself. So
well, it took us forever to get Steve to stop saying Wahil of Tahim.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Shada Laga.
But Saltine, isn't Nineveh a city? And
Nineveh in ancient Babylon, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
That's
where Jonah hung out, I think, didn't he?
I'll tell you what, a man of Manethrin is the biblical scholar. I am a sub-biblical scholar to Nathan, but he and I can have an interesting debate about theology. So, yeah.
The crazy thing about listening to Wheel of Time is you could swear that there are 5 people on different sides of the world all at the same time because their names are all spelled the same and they all sound the same. And if you're not reading the book, you're like, oh crap, there's an extra E there. Oops, that's not an Aes Sedai, that's an actual ruler. It's like, what the fuck? Like
Apparently,
is it Muriella or Mimarilla or like there's like 5 Mimarillas or Mariellans or Mimanula. It's like what
there are. It's true.
It's like what
and I mean and that's the funny thing. It's like language. You can pronounce things a whole series of different ways. Like Gadfly and myself, since we've got kind of like this background, like him a lot more than I do because I just graduated high school, but you know we got Latin, Greek kind of things, so how we pronounce things tend to be along those lines. But if you're focused on different countries, you pronounce things a different way. And so, you know what? At the end of the day, you end up on the same page. So who gives a shit?
Well, and the other thing is, even within North America and Canada, there are linguistic differences based upon geography. If you come from Texas, if you come from the upper Midwest, New Jersey,
Illinois,
New York, Vermont,
Chicago,
New York, different consonant, different vowel sounds. So
Wheel of Time. So
I've always said Mogandine, but I guess is it Mogideon?
Mogideon.
So I've always said Mogandine. So
I always wanted Mogideon.
Yeah. So
I always said Mogideon.
Yeah.
When I see Mogandine, I'm thinking
about there's like Muriel, Muriella, Miralilla, Miralala, Miralapala, Salala.
Look at Craig. Craig says Nineveh too. See, it's not just me, dude. Dude, you're like my bestie now, dude. That's fucking awesome.
All right, I think Craig is just showing how much he's had to drink.
Oh man,
I did finish the double oak, so the double oak is done.
I finished my my bottle of Buffalo.
Boozing with Cher over here. Boozing with Cher. Sorry,
I got a brand new bottle of Texas bourbon, Balcones.
Yes,
and it's called Lineage, and I cannot wait to open it up and drink that one.
Nice.
So.
All right. So, do not encourage the Rosamund Pike audiobook. That's all I have to say.
She's reading like this. This is from Salty's clip. I'm loyal. I talk like this.
Oh man, you're going in.
It's
hard.
rough. It's rough.
Well, that's my video. Will have hers with Michael Kramer's. Michael Kramer's is far superior. So it's just
fade. Come at me, fade. It's the stone stands. That's Michael freaking Kramer.
It's so unnecessary. We're getting to the point where it's going to be the books. The Shadow Rising is going to release. It's going to be The Wheel of Time by Rosamund Pike and Robert Jordan. With it's like
Rosamund Pike in big letters and Robert Jordan in tiny little.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be.
Show starring Rosamund Pike, written by Robert Jordan. It's literally like I wonder if it's in her contract that she's like I have to do like the article. It's like I don't want to go off on tangent because this is going to be in my video, but the article says she's like, man, they asked somebody to read the audiobooks and nobody was like gonna do it, and I'm like, it's like, well, I guess I guess it should be me. I'm the leader, right? So I guess it should be me to do it. Like she's doing something against her fucking will. It's like, cut that. Come on.
Check out my video today. I'm Salty Traveling. See if you haven't seen me before. I did a video covering that. Steve is going to do his own unique take. We here are not an echo chamber. We just all were bonded by the fact that the show was just a disappointment across the board and completely not an adaptation. But here we go. Talk about occupying, talk about Me Too, talk about Rosamund Pike's time to shine. She's going to be on every book cover they release. And I'm still waiting for when The Dragon Reborn comes out because they're going to do it.
Oh, they already did. They already said they did.
Well, I haven't seen it.
It's already well. They've said they've done it, and she's read the book already for her, so they'll probably release both at the same time. I would imagine.
Oh God! I hope it's her and Swan scissoring on the cover with Robert Jordan in really small letters in the bottom.
Yes. How confused is everybody going to be that picks up this version? It's like, why is Moiraine on the cover? She's not in the book. at all. Oh boy, Nerpoyo, on our way out, anything to say, my friend?
Well, I can't wait to not watch season 2, or do I have to now? I think I might have to watch it now with you guys. So.
I'm not giving him a view. The only way I'm watching this show is if we do it together, because I can't deal with it.
Oh, I'll be watching it.
I think if it's not you guys, then the White Cloaks are going to come. They're going to take me away. They're going to put me in one of those spiked coffins until I comply or something. So.
Oh God.
Yeah, Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden, that's it.
Iron Maiden.
Which is actually it's actually a myth that those were used.
Oh, okay.
Well, I would assume they kill people, so like, I mean, they are whatever. Well, I'd rather be in an Iron Maiden than the Rack watching it, so at least I'd be put out of my misery in an Iron Maiden.
Right.
I'd rather be with Iron Maiden than Van Halen when Sammy Hagar was with us.
That's true. And Jacob did
Jacob
Van
Hagar
I saw your cover. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. What, Nate? Sorry.
I love Van Hagar.
Oh, you ate one too. We're gonna have to have a stream about this someday. But anyway,
great stuff. Great stuff.
So thank you guys all for being here. More videos to come from me. Nate, you got anything going on before we head out?
White Cloaks channel on Saturday for the first part of the last book of Return of the King.
Cool.
We'll be going to Mount Doom and talking about the first 5 chapters of that book. I'm not sure what time it is. I think it's actually going to be later than what we normally have been. But just keep an eye on their channel.
Yeah, I'm scrambling to catch up with them. So I'm in the middle of 2 Towers right now. So just I'm reading them out of order. I'm reading the chapters out of order this time.
2.5 weeks, man.
Yep, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna do it. The story is just gets so freaking good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
All right, cool. So as always, check out the White Cloaks too. They're doing good work over there. Recently monetized, so White Cloaks, friend of the channel, of course.
Give them some love.
Yep. What's up?
I do have one thing to shout out. Ms. Martin Uses is very near to monetization. She's a wonderful voice on YouTube, good human being. She's been doing some great interview series with people, talking about a variety of things like pub tours, her travels around Ireland and Scandinavia. I'm going to be on her show, Ms. Martin Uses Teresa, on Saturday. So check that out. We're actually going to be talking about bourbon, about some of my favorite bourbon cocktails, and maybe some of my more racy experiences bartending. So when I used to do that. So
copy that.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, go give Ms. Martin music. She's all over everywhere supporting. So go give her a sub if you haven't. So she's good people. For myself, Craig, usually it's a little random because my work schedule, but it'll be usually around 9 Eastern when I'm doing Wheel of Time stuff. I do all kinds of live streams with video games and stuff too, but the Wheel of Time stuff is usually around 9 Eastern. I do have my Discord, my Prophet of the Dragon Discord, and I do have a Twitter that I use exclusively for this, but I know for myself, speaking for myself, I will definitely be doing a live watch of the show in some form, and I will be doing a live after review of each episode, some form, whether it's probably some on here, it's probably going to be scattered throughout with this awesome group of creators that we have. So I know White Cloaks are talking about doing something too. So, we're going to figure something out, but there's going to be plenty of live reaction to this garbage heap. So, so I like to try and do Wednesday around 8. So when I can, so I'm hoping next week, maybe I might be able to do next week. We'll see, but hopefully just keep an ear down. If I'll start putting out community posts when I'm going to go live too. That might help too. So, but so thank you everybody for being here. You guys are great. If you're looking for something else to watch before you go to bed or whatever, I know Zach's is live. Hopefully he's still live, so you can go check out Zach 7. He's doing what's good over there. You've had your shit here. You can go talk about something good. So thank you again, and until the next live stream video, all hail the Lord Dragon. and have a great night, everybody.
Stay Nerporium.
Bye.